Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey, and whew, I have a show for you today. Um, we're going to take a look at a real American hero, you guys. Just stunning and brave from start to finish. I don't know how I never heard of him before with his exploits fighting the evil Nazis. We'll get to him in just a little bit. I wasn't going to do the show tonight. I was going to do it in the morning, but because I'm tired. I'm tired as hell. In a perfect world, I'm asleep right now, y'all. But I made a mistake. I mowed my grass today. We haven't had the grass mowed since summer started, since spring, so it's getting like really high. The guy we used to have do it, he lives several towns over. Welcome to small town living, you guys. And we're his only customer in this area, so this year he decided he's not doing it. Like, okay, I understand that. But trying to get contractors out here for anything is a pain in the ass. And so I've called around to several people and they're like, yeah, I'll call you back or we'll come give you an estimate. And nobody does. It's like they have more money than they need, so they don't need more business. Um, but I contacted the guy that my neighbor uses, or the company my neighbor uses, and they're coming out next week. But I found out a little bit was coming up, and I wanted to have the yard mowed so she could play in it. Now, I didn't do the entire thing because we have like a full acre that I'd have to do by hand, and but I did enough that my spine is like, oh no no no, how dare you, sir? It's mad, man. It's mad at me. So sleep is not an option. It's like, maybe I'll play some Sims, and it's like I can't. I am that's how bad I am, and I can't use my hands very well. Who here thinks that Ranting Monkey is evil? Who here knows that Ranting Monkey is evil? Finally, who here feels bad that Monkey lives in Michigan? It's like there's a lot to hate about Michigan. There's a lot of I like about Michigan. It's where we live in Michigan that's a problem. Man, sucks sometimes. But we're still gonna do. We'll do a show that hopefully is fun. Because oh boy, is Twitter full of the bullshit today. Whew, whew. Donald Trump dared to have a celebration on the 4th of July, which apparently for liberals think he was using for like, I don't know, a birthday party for himself. Monkey's a Yankee. Actually, Monkey's a Southern California boy. I'm neither Yankee nor Confederate rebel. That's what you guys are. Wabba Jack, thank you. Lesson learned. Listen to the monkey, Shio's wife. Yeah, Shio, man. What the fuck did you do to your hand? He posted a picture on the Twitter saying, was something like a short fuse, or I'll light the short fuse. I forget exactly what it said, but then there's a picture of him with his fucking finger all burned out. Dude. Fairly certain the last thing I said at the end of my last show was be careful. People never listen to me. Ranting Monkey, is this proof that the left hates the USA right now? I don't know if they hate the USA. They hate Trump, and they're willing to literally do anything to hate him. Like literally do anything. They don't care how it makes them look, how it makes them sound. It's just a matter of hate Trump at all costs, which oddly enough brings us back to our stunning and brave American. We got to talk about this guy. We got to talk about him because holy shiznit. Sorry, I had to cough. Thank you for the donation there, Citron. I appreciate it very much. Thank you so much, guys. This is a good time to remind you, the Ranting Monkey is brought to you by you. If you could do anything to help the channel out, whether that's financially or by hitting the like button or sharing or subscribing if you haven't already. There's also other links you can follow down below. My gaming channel's down there. I got a very nice compliment yesterday on my stream. Somebody, I forget who, and I apologize. You know how my brain works. But they said they came over just to show support and stayed because they laughed their ass off. I more than anything want to make you laugh, even if I'm trying to make you think. I just want to make you laugh. That's what I do, or try to do at least. Oh dear God, my headphones are up way too high. That warning just scared the crap out of me. Okay, so where were we? This is the tale of a man named TJ. No, yeah, TJ. Old TJ Well, let's let him tell the story, shall we? Just got thrown out of Hill Country, DC, for standing up to a Nazi. Don't go there ever again. They support Trump and Nazis. At Hill Country WDC at Hill Country Barbecue. You hear that, man? He got kicked out of there for standing up to a Nazi, y'all. A Nazi. A Nazi. We're going to put a pin in that for a second. We're going to put a pin in that part of the story for just a second because we're going to go read what happened. He told us, guys. I mean, that's a harrowing experience for most people. I stood up to a Nazi all by myself. You want to hear the rest of the story? Hey, Chaos, what you doing? You want to come hang out, sweetie? I know you'd asked about yesterday, and then I forgot completely to invite you. Here's his story from his own fingers, y'all. Chaos, I'm just assuming you're gonna say yes. I'm gonna throw you the link anyway. If you don't want to, that's fine, sweetie. Just don't come. There you are. Sorry, guys, I gotta get this sent out. I have a co-host at the moment who can do it for me. There we go. So we got to get back to old. TJ. TJ, he stood up to the Nazi, man, and this is what happened. Brace yourselves. Brace yourselves. Guy wears MAGA hat at my favorite restaurant. I say, hey, are you from DC? He says, no. I say, we don't tolerate racism in this city. His girlfriend then physically jams her fingers into my chest and starts threatening me. Management tells me to leave, not woman who assaulted me. Dun, dun, dun. That is his story to standing up to Nazis. Oh my God. When I read that, I laughed so fucking hard. Like, what kind of a bitch man are you? Real quick, Terry Diamandis, thank you so much. A Nazi? Don't mention the war. I mentioned it once, but I think I got away with it. Did they get upset? Remember, this started off as I stood up to a Nazi. Let's go back to his original statement there. Oh shit, I lost it. Where'd it go? Hang on. This one. Boom. He got thrown out of the restaurant for standing up to a Nazi. He goes on to tell us, just called the manager there, and his answer was, we are an equal opportunity restaurant who welcomes all political views, before hanging up on me. Cool. Except MAGA hats actually make clear that POC and LGBT are not welcome at all. And for the record, the Nazi's girlfriend assaulted me by jabbing her fingers into my chest repeatedly, and I simply backed up. Yet I was told to leave, not the Nazi or his Nazi girlfriend. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, so this is what happens, right? This is what happens. Somebody comes into a restaurant wearing a MAGA hat. This asshole goes and tries to get in his face, but the girl steps in and makes him back down. You were the aggressor. You were the one being an asshole. The other guy just wore a fucking hat. And yes, I know. To some of you, what's the word? I'm trying not to be too dirty today. What's a good word for fucking retard? You morons. A lot of you fucking retarded morons out there think that Donald Trump and wearing that hat or anything, supporting him, is a matter of being racist and homophobic and sexist. And that's just proof that you're morons. That's all that is. He got beat up by a girl. There's an excellent comment in this thread where he says, hold on, let me get back to that one. No. Sorry, there's an excellent comment. What somebody says, he goes, you didn't stand up to this guy, you stood down to his girlfriend. I'm like, oh, he's right. He's absolutely right. You didn't stand up to shit, man. You didn't stand up to a Nazi. You went and you made an ass of yourself and got yourself thrown out of a restaurant for being a dick. That's on you. It's not on anybody else. The restaurant did nothing wrong here. They actually did the right thing. They kicked your punk ass out for causing a disturbance, for bothering other patrons who did nothing. It's not like you went in there wearing a Klan hood, you idiot. Ball Potatoes said, bet the little bitch boy had a bruised chest from being poked, right? Oh my, he backed straight now. I just backed up. Yeah, you stood up to a Nazi, dude. You made an ass of yourself. There was a woman who responded in here that she wishes all of the DC area restaurants would close down anytime Trump had an event because it just leads to all kinds of jerks going to the restaurants. And she's supporting old TJ here saying that. TJ was the jerk in this case. If TJ hadn't been an asshole, he'd have got to finish his meal. The couple would have got to have their meal in peace. Everybody would have got to go home happy. Oh no, but TJ, oh, he had to go stand up to this Nazi. Y'all want to see TJ? TJ looks exactly like you would think he would look with this story. Now, normally, look, I don't normally fuck with people. And it's not the best picture, but you can get an idea. That is, I mean, look at old TJ. Don't he look just so? That's the only word I'm. And as you can see, he's got Hillary and Michelle Obama as his picture back here because he's got a virtue signal. What is TJ? He's a progressive communicator. That's what his bio tells us. Progressive communicator. I think you need to work on your communication skills, you little shit. I don't think you're what's the word I'm looking for here? Very wise. You sure as hell can't communicate worth a shit. And you got beat up by a girl who didn't even have to do much. Now I know we're not supposed to laugh at men who get beat up by girls, but still kind of funny. Actually surprised, would have expected one of those 120 pound. Nah, see, I was expecting a fat dude. The only thing that he didn't have that I was expecting was a more of a receding hairline. Yeah, there's a lot of them are those little skinny guys, but the little skinny dudes, they tend to keep to themselves because they, unless they're wearing all black and a black motorcycle helmet with 14 of their friends around, they don't do shit. He's literally the one who started it. Got up in this because he makes it sound like he just was still sitting where he was, but for this dude's girlfriend to start poking him in the chest, he had to be right in her fucking face. Going to send you 4 pairs of personalities. What? Not gonna lie, I was expecting a neck. Oh no. He's the soy boy, man. He's the soy boy. Good morning, Polly.
Morning.
Did you hear our harrowing tale I just told?
No. I had to pause it for a little bit. I didn't hear what happened.
That's fine. Oh, TJ is eating at his favorite restaurant in DC.
TJ Kirk?
No, this is some other. What the hell's his name? TJ
Max.
Oh, good morning, Jack.
Morning.
No, hang on. I'm trying to find it again.
It was TJ Maxx.
No, TJ Humpenhofer or something like that. What is it? Helmstetter.
Okay.
This is okay. He starts off
for.
No, he's just a progressive communicator, according to his bio.
Okay, go on.
Swear to God,
that's great.
Okay, for those of you who are late, this is how the tale starts. Just got thrown out of Hill Country, DC for standing up to a Nazi. Don't go there ever again. They support Trump and Nazis. At Hill Country WDC at Hill Country Barbecue. And then he tells us what exactly happened. Here it is. Guy wears MAGA hat at my favorite restaurant. I say, hey, are you from DC? He says, no. I say, we don't tolerate racism in the city. His girlfriend then physically jabs fingers into my chest and starts threatening me. Management tells me to leave, not the woman who assaulted me. That's the story. That is
cool story,
that is
bro.
that's what old TJ's telling us. He stood up to the Nazis, man. He's Captain fucking America.
Dude, that's going to be in Reader's Digest next month.
Oh my God. I read that. I started laughing. So he posted this to the internet. Why would you tell people that story?
because he's a hardcore Nazi fighter. He's like Indiana Jones in the modern era, man.
Oh my god! Yeah, he's. I bet he's. Yeah. And go ahead.
I'm just not pleased to hear that story. That's all. It's
Remember,
just like,
did you pay attention to the way that was written? This is a This is a communicator.
Excellent point. Yes, this is somebody who lauds themselves as a professional communicator.
Well, to be fair, we don't know his specialty. It could be semaphore.
Man. Now, most of the people in the thread, and I'll throw the thread in here for you guys, for the audience, if you want to go have some little fun at his expense too. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm not targeting harassment. I actually think you should go over and just read, because the reading it is funny as shit. But
read. What is homework?
I know, right? Don't worry, it's funny. See, the way I had to do my tweet to quote two of his things together, I didn't get the link, so I have to find it in my mentions. Damn it! There it is. Okay. If you read he just gets fucking owned in this thread, man. There are a lot of people supporting him, though. Of course there are, because Orange Man bad. There we go. Orange Man bad. He's very upset because he called the restaurant and they told him, look, we tolerate all political views here.
Yeah.
His answer, though, what MAGA instantly means you're racist and homophobic. Tyrai, thank you. I like how MAGA hat equals Nazi. I wonder if he's ever been to a real war zone. This is a dude who got beat up by a girl. He's whining about getting poked by a girl. And again, my favorite comment in that whole thread is, you didn't stand up to him. You stood down to her. Like, oh, he's right. Black Romeo says, it's my birthday. Can I get a birthday song? Yes. Let's do this. Gentlemen, feel free to join. If not, I understand. Happy birthday to you.
Shabab, shabab.
Happy birthday to you.
Shabab, shabab.
Happy birthday, dear Black Romeo.
Shabab, shabab.
Happy birthday
to
you.
Shabab, shabab.
Happy birthday, dude. I hope you have a great one. It's nice having you back for the Shababs. I've done those a few times myself recently. Everybody has birthdays when you're not here. They should know better.
I just looked up this the restaurant that he mentioned, the Hill Country Barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
Because I hadn't heard of it, but I know DC quite well. And they have 3 locations across the country, actually, one of them being in the district. And I am surprised that it's not listed as a higher cost menu considering its location, which is very prestigious, i.e. expensive rent. It is a block away from the FBI building, a block and a half off of Pennsylvania Ave.
Oh, wow.
If you know DC, that is the high rent district. Like, not because it's fancy, just because it's right in the middle of where everything is, really close to metro access, and everything, all of the store space is very small because they've split every store into 4 rentable spaces to make them affordable. So, it's like, wow, I'm surprised that the price for this place isn't right through the fucking roof, but it's only listed as moderate expense.
They make a lot of money off Nazis, man.
Yes. Yeah, and I'm looking at the
real quick. Hi, Eve. Go ahead, Polly.
Hi.
Hey, Eve.
Hey, Eve.
Hello, Polydub, who I haven't seen in forever.
Yeah.
Did not just see 30 seconds ago.
Yeah, it's been minutes and minutes.
Right. And hello, Jack.
Hello.
Hello, chat. Okay.
So let me ask you a question, Monkey.
Sure.
And Jack, because you're old too. I mean, let me say it differently.
I'm not offended by that. You can say it like that.
Okay. You guys would remember with more clarity such that you can offer an opinion on the matter. How about that?
He just called us old in a nice way.
Fuck, are you a politician?
Political science majors.
I think your thesis is going to be amazing. Go ahead.
Well, I hope my dissertation will be amazing. My thesis was amazing. Thank you.
I meant what you're about to say.
Well, okay, so you remember the 90s?
Yes.
Right. When you were Gen Xers in the 90s, so you're all a bunch of slackers, like that sort of thing, right? Was that commonly talked about in, like, at the time, or was it afterwards looking back that became the description? See what I'm asking?
It was at the time.
Was it? Okay. Okay.
It just, we didn't have the internet, so it wasn't as like the millennial thing, I'm guessing is what you're getting at. Or
well, sort of, because it's like people talk about millennials right now, but that is kind of coming after these people that are then identified as millennials went into the workforce and whined enough on Twitter and didn't do enough, whatever, developed all of the stereotypes that they now unfortunately have upon them. Unfortunately for them, have upon them. So I'm wondering, like, was the slacker Gen Xer dropout of society thing, was that the description at the time when that was actually the thing?
Yeah. It was how much we didn't care.
Okay.
There were stories about how this generation just doesn't care about anything the way like the boomers did. It wasn't as prevalent as you see like with the millennials, because again, social media has changed everything.
Because millennials are always worse. I'm just kidding.
Well, they are. Jack, do you remember differently?
Not really. No. I mean, people just said we were kind of lazy, like shiftless layabouts. They didn't bitch about us in the way they bitch about millennials.
And like I said, there would be like a story in Time now and then, or a story in Newsweek back before Newsweek was bought for $1, about our generation versus the other ones, and how lazy is the word they used a lot.
Like I always took from it, like what I understand of it and what it seemed to develop into now. Gen Xers were like just uninvolved, detached, dropouts, and not in the sense of high school dropout, just a dropout of engagement. Like, I'm not interested in your thing. Like, it's not that I'm a hippie and trying to live in a commune. It's just like, I'm just going to do my own thing, man. I don't even, start a grunge band or something. I'm not interested in a lack of interest and engagement.
You got to realize a lot of us went through our developmental years, or at least a good part of them, in the 80s, the me decade.
And they're okay, great. Like that's it's the me, the narcissism, yeah. and you see the references of films that are considered iconic for the era. Your Lesson Zero, Wall Street,
Bright Lights, Big City.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. The whole and it becomes. I actually find that kind of annoying that whenever anyone does an 80s film, it's like, yes, literally everybody lived on Wall Street and literally everyone was an investment banker who did cocaine hourly. Yeah.
Like, well, you never make a mob movie about the bag man. You make it about the Don, right?
Right.
You don't go. I mean, there's some of those movies like, hey, what was that one Winona Ryder was in?
I grabbed the I know the one you mean. I downloaded a copy of it. I mean, purchased a copy of it.
Girl Interrupted?
No. That was a super girly, emotional one. It's considered one of the Gen X par excellence films. I know what you mean.
Slackers?
No, it's one where she was a Gen Xer, and she's got the choice between two guys, and at the end she picks the one everybody knows is wrong for her. But our generation was like, yeah, like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Anyway,
yeah, she played the guy who played
Reality Bites.
Reality Bites, thank you.
Reality Bites, yeah.
What's he put it in chat? Swingers.
Swingers.
What's his name was in it too, right? The guy who plays opposite Officer Alonzo Harris in Training Day. He plays opposite Denzel Washington. Ethan Hawke. He's in it too, right?
Yeah.
Ethan Hawke is a very underrated actor.
He is. Oh yeah, Ethan Hawke. He's got the acting
Matt
chops.
Dillon.
Ethan Hawke needs a better name. I think that's what keeps him down. Nobody can take him serious.
He's got a badass name, Ethan Hawke.
For a comic book character, not for an actor, somebody you're taking serious.
I don't take anybody seriously because I lose interest in things very quickly as a Gen Xer.
As a Gen Xer, yeah, I'm with you.
I've already lost interest in this conversation.
Did you know that,
Damn.
I listened to the director's commentary of Training Day, which is Antoine Fuqua, who directs, right?
His name still sounds like a dirty word in French.
It absolutely does. It's a totally unlikely name for who the guy is, but he's, in my opinion, really, really fucking great
Is that
director.
the name of the villain in the first Shrek movie? No, it was
I really
Farquaad.
like that dude, Antoine Fuqua. He's awesome.
I find that hard to believe that was his last name. Fuckwad.
No, that's how people would. Oh, never mind.
Okay. And he, during that commentary, Fuqua wouldn't shut up about what a great actor he thought Ethan Hawke was. He's like, you see that? Any other actor would have been completely thrown because like that wasn't in the script, and Denzel Washington did a lot of that stuff like impromptu.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like would suddenly just turn and like go boom right in Ethan Hawke's face, like scare him. And it was, and Hawk would just kind of like would stay in character and go like, "Hey, oh Jesus!" Like, because I gained so much respect for this guy on the first like 3-4 days of shooting, when Denzel Washington would go off script and just start riffing off of what he thinks the character might say or whatever. It's Hawk just played along with him, and you never saw him slip. And I was like, "Yeah, that's when you can." Play off of Denzel Washington, who's like concentrated personality in a human being. Like, yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. I don't think he's a bad actor. I think his name holds him back, honestly.
So back to the
All
thing
right.
about the generations.
Generations.
What I'm thinking about is like the millennials, the reputations are what around millennials? It's like lazy, entitled.
Yep.
Entitled. It would
Like-
be my
like-
first thing.
And entitled not in the sense that it used to mean, of born with a silver spoon in your mouth would basically be entitled. You know, and entitled now is like, I'm expecting like, you know, where's my 6-figure salary where I do very, very little after getting my degree in lesbian dance theory.
They're entitled as opposed to being privileged, which would be the silver spoon thing.
Yeah,
right.
the Silver
Fair enough.
Spoon kids acted entitled because that's how they were brought up, and that's what it is with these kids. They act entitled. I might not have been born with a silver spoon in my mouth, but I should have been.
I deserve to be.
Uh-huh.
And
look how amazing I am.
Faithless is right in saying demanding. I think that's one of them. Would you say that part of it is like these are the originators and the promoters of outrage culture?
Oh, definitely.
A lot of it, yeah.
Well, I see it that way, but is that part of the reputation, do you think?
I think both of those reputations are earned and they come together.
But I think they're earned as well. But do you think like the mass of people, when they hear of millennials, they think of outrage culture as well? I hope so, but I'm not sure if they do.
I don't think they tie it to him the way that they tie entitlement to him.
Okay.
Yeah, not yet. I think that's becoming more of a thing that they're starting to be revealed to be these more demanding, and I agree with sheltered as well because they don't seem to know how anything works. They can work a machine, but they couldn't tell you the process by which it's doing what it's doing. You know what I mean?
Jack, if something goes wrong, you just call somebody.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Why do it yourself? You can just call somebody like your dad, I guess. You know, a real man.
You know the reputation that hippies hold in its more negative sense? Like dirty hippie. You don't wash. You're a fucking loser. You talk about, hey man, all spaced out. And all of your political ideas are really loaded idealistic bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, that in its most negative form, that's what hippie means. I really hold a hope.
You can have one guy who like bakes some bread.
You just haven't been to college, man. I really hope that kind of negativity gets attached to millennials, that the outrage culture and mobbing on Twitter, the slacktivism. I think I'm doing something. Je suis Paris. Me too. You know,
that's a good segue to something else I wanted to talk about. Believe it or not. I'm not totally changing the subject, but Colin Kaepernick put out a tweet today.
Oh, God.
Colin Kaepernick? He's still relevant somehow?
Oh, that dude's making millions off of Nike and telling them what they should and shouldn't do. For the 4th of July, he tweeted out a quote from Frederick Douglass. And I'm gonna read the quote now.
Cool.
What have I, or those I represent, to do with your national independence? This 4th of July is yours, not mine. There's not a nation on earth guilty of practices more shocking and bloody than are the people of these United States at this very hour. Frederick Douglass. That's what Colin Kaepernick, this entitled, spoiled piece of shit, tweeted out today.
I'm sorry. I'm very, very sorry. But what the fuck?
He is invoking Frederick Douglass was not born free. He was not. Go ahead.
When Frederick Douglass wrote that, it was around the time of the Civil War, before there were free people.
Well, to go on, Ted Cruz grabbed a hold of this and he goes, "Let's read the rest of it." And actually, Douglass goes on to, I still believe in the ideas of America. But he had a point at the time.
Yeah, a point 150, 60 years ago.
Colin Kaepernick, you want to talk about entitled? You want to talk about outrage culture? I think people like Kaepernick are going to make that happen, Polly, what you were talking about, them being tied together. Because is there a more spoiled, entitled person out there right now?
Oh, he's a little bitch, yeah.
Than a fucking millionaire?
Yeah, a millionaire whining about how bad he has it. That guy is the epitome of what we are talking about. He's a crybaby millennial. And you know what? I think he's a piece of shit if no, I'm not even going to finish that sentence. But if bad things happen, I'm not going to feel bad for him. Because he's a piece of shit. Fuck that guy. He doesn't deserve anything he's been given in the last several years. He may have earned his way into football. Okay, you play a kid's game for a living. You make a few million. Awesome. He doesn't deserve any of this crap that he's getting now. They're hiring him because he's forming an outrage mob. And they think it'll somehow be good for him. He's a piece of scum.
Zeldor makes a good point. The conception we form around millennials is largely based around coastal liberal cities. I would tend to agree that, when you don't live in a major liberal city like that, then, most cities are liberal anyway, generally, when you put people when you give people a lot of luxuries and privileges and let them have access to that kind of stuff, they tend to get more liberal in general. And so I think a lot of the idea that my generation is the image that they get comes from that, just people who entitled little shit sitting on Twitter talking about the white privilege and shit like that.
You want to get a little psychological at a distance on this?
Okay.
This is the thing that a lot of people don't talk about because it's like it doesn't work with the identity politics. He's playing identity politics all the way, but no one's playing identity politics like on that same level against him. I'd rather play Freud at a distance with this guy. Let me see if I get this right, Colin. Your biological father is black. Your biological mother's white.
Mm-hmm.
You were adopted by a white family.
Yep.
Those monsters.
So you're a half black, half white kid raised by a white family in an upper middle class environment.
He's Obama.
And had nothing to do with your father for the longest fucking time in the world. Like, so there's a lot of stereotypes going on there that I can make fun of, but I'm not gonna, because to me, it's more about, and you can't shut the fuck up about race. You even wear a blown out afro that you need to blow out because it won't stay out on its own.
Yeah, like that doesn't look like an afro. That looks like somebody got electrocuted.
That's what I'm saying. You need to blow it out, pick it out on its own because it won't stay out on its own. But yet this is the hairstyle. You can wear whatever hair you want. I think and the lamest activism that he goes for. So this is a guy who's a millionaire, famous beyond to levels that most of us will never be. right? And that's not enough for him. And he has to make everything about his race and sees everything about his race. At least that's the stuff that he puts out there. Does this sound like a guy who's got a huge chip on his shoulders, or what?
This,
Well, it might be genetic, but we don't know who his dad is.
The chip on his shoulder came from when he got into the NFL. He had 2 very good seasons. 2 very good seasons. They threw a ton of fucking money at him too. And then the real Colin showed up, and he ended up getting benched. And he wanted. For those of you who don't know how this all started, let's take a little
trip down memory lane.
Before we
Colin,
do that,
yeah.
Thank you on the Streamlabs Tire Eye for the donation. On a lighter note, has Polly gotten the Streamlabs yet?
No, not yet. So,
Monkey.
Yeah. Am I wrong?
That's not the point here.
Actually, you know what, Polly? Because I keep getting hassled by people as well. I think maybe you and I should sit down after this and hammer this out and see what we can do to get both ourselves Streamlabs.
Yeah,
people on my channel have bothered me about it too.
Yeah,
I was saving you the trouble.
No, I mean, you were wrong, but it's just like, no, he doesn't. Moving on. And I was like, hey, you don't know. Well, you're not wrong, but you don't know.
He had something he was saying. I interrupted.
No, and it's okay. It's okay. I was just helping you out there, Polly.
No, I like the way Ebony Williams said it, because it's like, I wanted to see if anyone else was going to grab onto this, what I was grabbing from this, psychoanalyzing this guy at a distance. And in her words, he's overcompensating for being half black and raised around white folks. Yeah, because some people that wouldn't get to them. Like it just wouldn't be. I mean, it's a factor in their worldview and everything, but it's not they're not making an issue of it in the way that people like meaning pathological issue. I think this guy is. I think this guy's got all kinds of fucking issues. He should be handling these things in therapy, not in public.
Let me offer a different view. Let's look at his history. Okay, so he has these 2 great years, gets his fat ass contract, then he starts going downhill, then he gets benched. This is the first time he's really faced adversity, any kind, because all through, he was great in high school and college. He did very well. Comes into the NFL, starts off like a champ, man.
Right.
And then everything just starts falling apart, and he gets benched. So he demands that his contract be changed so that he can go into free agency. And the Niners are like, no, fuck you. And there's talks that actually start for a trade, which fell through. And it's at that point Colin starts sitting down for the national anthem. Everything else comes from that moment. Now, if he believed in any of this race shit, you're going to tell me he went all the way through his upbringing into high school, college, and his first few years in the NFL, and none of the race stuff ever bothered him. But then, because of his contract, somehow triggered in him this militant blackism. No, the blackism thing, the why are you sitting? I did it because cops are killing people. That came later. He made that shit up after he started doing this. And everything he's done since then, he's done because that's what gets him attention. I don't believe for a second this guy feels oppressed at all. Not for a fucking second.
Oppressed, no. I would, like, in terms of like authentic feeling, my guess, I can't read the man's mind, but I don't authentically think that this guy feels authentically oppressed. No.
Well, it depends on how you define oppression, though, doesn't it? Because how he's defining oppression might be completely different than what rational people define as oppression. He's kind of an idiot.
You know what he is? He's Al Sharpton.
Yeah, but Al Sharpton is more of a... Al Sharpton's definitely a race hustler, but I think Kaepernick actually thinks that he is being oppressed because somebody told him no. Adversity to him is somebody saying no. And that might be the definition he's working with. Because look at how delicate these little snowflakes are with saying things like, words of violence and stuff like that. Like everything's a little paper cut to them that, it hurts because somebody was slightly mean to me. you know, that to them is adversity. They think they're as bad as the old photos of slaves with scars all over their backs.
I could go with that. I could go with that. That being told no for the first time, yeah, to him was, oh well, this must be because I'm black.
Yeah,
don't pay attention to any of the other black people on the team. Still paid very well. Still work. Some of them still on the same team. Anyway, sorry.
I would. Well, okay. Point out two things. One, colorism is really real. Like,
sure,
amongst black folks, it
is.
Is
it ever?
Say it correctly, please. It's for real.
It's for real.
I mean, it's there, and it's ugly to hear it. It's ugly as like straight up racism between races is ugly. You know what I mean? Like, it's
sure.
And I know a few people that will talk about, it's like, okay, my mom's black, my dad's white, and it's like, and yeah, it's rough to be to be told when you're like Colin Kaepernick's color, like, for example, not dark but light skinned, basically, and to hear from other black folks like, get out of here, you can pass. That's got to be rough to hear. Like, pass is white is the joke, and it's like, obviously, no, you can't. But it sucks to fucking hear that. So I'm saying, like, okay, does the guy have actual issues around race? Yeah, I'm willing to bet that he does, because like colorism is real and it can be really ugly. You know what I mean? So I don't want to dismiss that part of his thing, but it's like, you that's never what he mentions, and that's never what anyone asks him about, and it never comes up. It's like, so tell us about the racism that you encountered growing up. It's not like, so tell us about your white adoptive parents that gave you an upper middle class. Were your poor black friends jealous of you? Like seriously, like, if you want to ask questions that are leading and ideologically promoting, why don't you ask him some real shit? Comes back again to who promotes him. The news entertainers. Why is he getting press on this? Because the news entertainers find it juicy and it fits their ideological thing. It will generate clicks.
I would agree with you if he had made any fucking mention of this before he got benched.
Let's say that he did make a mention of it. Would it matter if the news entertainers weren't promoting the ever-loving shit out of it?
Would it matter nationally? No, but I would believe him.
See, I mean,
you watch him. Did you watch?
People believe wacky shit, man. Like, it doesn't matter what they believe. It's like, oh, racism all day long. Well, here's an NFL guy saying racism. Let's talk about it. And all of a sudden, David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson and Dr. Goo are all taking a knee in solidarity. How is this happening? Through fucking media promoting the shit out of it. You know who took a knee today? Some other Hollywood celebrity that's got nothing to do with this.
I think he started out with the pay dispute. And then somebody said, oh yeah, they're just doing it because you're black. And he believed that because he had never been told no before. He's always been a big star, and now he's being benched because he's not good enough. And that's new to him. So yeah, he bought into his own hype. And I think it became about race because he was told no and because he was in some way rejected and did get his way. And he's throwing effectively a giant tantrum. And he's convinced himself that it's about race.
See, I see everything you guys are saying. And again, none of us is inside of his head, so none of us can know for sure. From where I'm sitting, I think it's a bunch of bullshit. I think he found a way to make money since the football thing fell through. And he's being paid very well to be a race hustler.
Well, the Black Romeo asked me if he never mentioned it, Paulie, why are you? Well, it depends on the it that you mean. It of the racism or it of his upbringing and who his family is. Because there really shouldn't be any shame in it, but it never comes up. When I hear Colin Kaepernick talk and I hear him send out tweets like that, I get flashbacks to when Killer Mike and CB4 went into blackety black, y'all. Like, it's so like, dude.
Oh my God, I forgot that song.
The intensity of the overcompensation is hard not to notice. So why am I mentioning it? Because he's the one who's brand new on this shit.
Can we can we address the fact that his adoptive parents have white savior complex?
Ooh. You don't. Well, who knows if that's the case?
Well, that's obviously it is. I mean, look at that movie, The Blind Side. It got backlash for that because it was white savior complex.
White savior, yeah.
And that's exactly what happened here. They should have allowed him to be adopted by a black family like he deserves so that his culture would be represented and instilled in him. Instead, it was a bunch of lily white people, and they had kind of a hot daughter, if I remember correctly. And he had to be raised around all these white people, and it was nothing but whitey privilege all over the place. I mean, that's some manifest destiny shit right there, and obviously his parents need to be shamed for that. I'm just saying.
Okay, real quick. Black Romeo said the colorism aspect of it. Okay, that's what you're saying. Why am I mentioning it if he never did? Specifically because he didn't mention it. The amount of times that he's been asked by journalists about the oppression that he has lived through and encountered. I've read it again and again, and he talks about white people being racist towards him. And it's like, really? That's all that you encountered? Really? The harshness of racism in America, and it's always these cold-hearted white folks visiting this senseless anger upon you? Is that what you dealt with? Or is that the narrative that works really well for the victimhood?
Look, he has to take a knee because of modern Jim Crow laws that didn't let him get a new contract.
Oh my God.
You know,
Far,
it's
I'm sorry. Far, if you're in chat, go sit in the corner. You know what you did.
what did she send you now?
It's a story we'll get to in a few minutes. I'm sorry. I did my, then I mean, I just saw this and go sit in the corner. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Eve.
You're good. No, it's funny because you talk about people being discriminatory and stuff like that. And I find that when a lot of times people attribute discrimination to things, they're usually wrong. Far says no. They're usually wrong in the sense that, you know, I've been pretty open about my transition. You know, most people that are around me know that I'm trans. People who figure it out through, like, if I'm at a bar and I have to show my ID or something. Mm-hmm. You know, there are a lot of people who get to see my ID and realize that, you know, because my stuff is not legally changed over yet, that, you know, I wasn't exactly born a girl. So I find I can count on in the what, maybe almost 2 years now. Not quite 2 years, almost 2 years that I've been out or coming out. Mm-hmm. I can count on one hand the number of times that I think that I could possibly maybe say someone discriminated against me because I'm trans.
Okay.
And it was usually just like somebody had a bad attitude was the worst, you know, the worst thing. Like,
2 years of coming out? What are you doing at slow motion?
It's a process. It really is. You never quite completely finish. There's always something that you like, oh, I forgot to do this, or I didn't tell this part of my family over here, or it's an entire lifestyle change. Everything has to.
That sounds like a lot of work. You should give up. Just don't tell anyone.
You just don't tell anyone. Get a shirt. Just get a shirt.
Yeah, just send them like a Christmas card and write it in there, P.S. I'm trans.
Well, most of my family knows now because my mom's just kind of been like, oh, this is a thing. And they're all like, oh, okay. But, you know.
Sounds like too much work.
I digress. But no, it's the thing is that I can count on one hand the number of times that someone has maybe discriminated against me. And I can't have no concrete evidence, but it's just like, okay, I went down the list of reasons this person could have behaved this way towards me. Mm-hmm. And I can't think of anything else. Like I went to a doctor one time and I was talking to the doctor and he would, you know, I listed off the medications that I was on and I listed my estrogen pills. And he's like, well, why are you taking this? You're a guy. And I'm like, well, I'm transitioning. And his attitude kind of changed after that, but he was more just like very short, curt responses. And like, he was just trying to get it done and over with, which could have been, he was just in a rush that day, but
he might have been
an asshole.
And now
he might have just been uncomfortable too.
True. Yeah.
And now like half of the chat is realizing that I'm trans because apparently
like,
I've said it a dozen times. A lot of the people who apparently knew her.
It's not something that actually we talk about very often. We might make a slight joke here or there, but we really haven't discussed that on this show.
No, not really. But I mean, like I said, so when people say that,
and no big deal, guys. She's still Eve.
Yeah.
We're still waiting to see your boobs.
Jesus,
Sith.
Sith. Oh my God. Chaos probably has a bigger dick than me.
No
We're not
comment.
going to prove that one way or the other.
We're not.
I was
But
about
no,
to say
like I said-
Pixar didn't happen.
So when people start talking about like, oh, I was discriminated against because of blah blah blah, and it's like, okay, one, were you waving it in somebody's face? Because if you go out here and you wave it in somebody's face that I'm black, I'm trans, I'm gay, and you just make your entire being about that thing, people are going to get annoyed.
Yep.
And they're going to go, get that shit out of my face.
To be fair, if you go waving it in someone's face, they're going to know right away. Because that's how they do it in Thailand.
Just as you walk by them in restaurants, wave it in their face.
That was funny, damn it.
It was funny. I'm like, where the hell's the laughter?
Silence in the room.
I was laughing. I heard too much to laugh. There was something I was going to say there. Oh, especially in those cases, it doesn't make somebody racist or transphobic. Like you said, they're just annoyed. She's like, get out of my face. I saw, what's the name of that? Lil Nas? Is he the one that just came out as gay?
Little Nas X. Yeah.
Lil Nas X, yeah. I didn't see anyone, not one goddamn person on the internet complain or say anything negative. Everybody's like, all right.
Yeah, because nobody fucking cares.
Nobody gave a fuck. But there's some of those news entertainers out there, Polly, like, oh, everybody, the conservatives are all mad at him now. Like,
they are, yeah.
Nobody gave a fuck. They're just like, all right, cool, go be gay. Just keep singing songs we like. We don't give a fuck.
They all think this is like with the year 1988 when the Crying Game came out.
Yeah.
No, that's not how this works anymore. People change, they evolve, and they get apathetic because it's familiar, and they don't care. There's you're counting the 5 crazy Westboro Baptist Church members that are still around.
Yep.
Give me a break.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, that's lazy. And as an expert on laziness, I have to say I'm very disappointed in them.
Well, I saw just part of it. I didn't watch the whole goddamn video. Excuse me. It was the Bronx blogger talking about the Andy No thing.
Oh,
and I was just skipping around at parts to see if there was anything I actually wanted to respond to. And somehow he gets to conservative Christians in that. I'm like,
sure, why not? Fuck, I just
how? But yeah, so I mean, people, you get these lines drawn, and it's like, just shut up. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Yes, there are small pockets like Westboro. They're the ones that almost always get mentioned. And at their height, they had like 43 members.
Something
at their height, and it was mostly a family.
That include the infants and the old people too. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? It was everybody they could include got included in that.
But they had their photo ops, man. They had their photo ops, so you can make it look like it.
Yeah.
Since we're on this, I want to talk about Eric July. I mentioned him the other day. I like Eric. He's funny.
Woo! Young Ripper.
What?
Eric July, Young Ripper 5'9".
Oh,
you like him? You don't even know that's what he streams under.
I don't watch his streams. I watch him on Twitter.
Oh.
I follow his Twitter account.
Fair enough. No, he's a comic book and politics streamer, and he's on YouTube as Young Ripper 5'9".
Yeah, he's funny as fuck, and he's one of those black people that likes to make white people uncomfortable.
Yeah, and black people too. The guy's a born
yes.
provocateur. Absolutely, he's kind of cool.
This is what he tweeted out. Oh, real quick, thank you. The next 6 minutes, fist bumps for the panel. Hope your fourth rocked. I got to see a little butt, so it was good. Eric, he tweeted out, white leftists give black folks the sloppy seconds of classically white characters while convincing their stupid asses that this is some sort of victory or that they're sticking it to the racist. No, dipshit. You're being insulted and you're just too stupid to realize it.
Giving them the sloppy second, like
a sloppy second.
Oh God, roasted.
He's not wrong.
No, he's made multiple videos and so much time on his streams talking about tokenism and how much it bugs him.
I've said this since I first heard. I do not give a fuck about Black Ariel. I don't care that she's going to be black. But she was white. hang on. She was white to start with. And what they've done is gone, you know what? We can't think of a character to give black people. Just make this honky black.
I'm just going to say this.
Go ahead.
Weeba was right.
About
the euthanizing of redheads.
The Great Replacement.
Yeah.
You're being replaced.
Yeah, redheads are constantly being replaced with black people.
They take
MJ on MJ on Spider-Man. Yep. Zendaya played. Now we got Ariel. There's a half a dozen of them. You can look it up.
Well,
sure, Weibo will list them.
They're redheads. I mean, nobody really cares.
Well, it implies that black people don't have
I just wanted
souls.
to see Eve's face.
Self-hating motherfucker.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Jack.
No, it implies that black people don't have souls, is what I'm getting out of this.
And for the record, yes, I did have a red beard before it turned white, so technically I had red hair.
Okay.
Blonde on top.
I've got something that directly relates to this topic. It was I wanted to bring it up on Comic Book Curation, but I was too depressed because Jack, that was, and quizzes in chat, that was a hard stream, man. That was a depressing load of stories we had. And I wanted to bring this up last night, Monkey, but we were having fun talking about the 4th of July and shit. So over on the Mary Sue and the article about Ariel in the live action remake of Fish Bitch, there's the chat or
comment section.
Comment section. Thank you, Jack. I'm having trouble languaging today. This is great. Okay, somebody types, I'm not really happy about this. The article is about Ariel's casting, right?
Right.
A couple of my redheaded friends are quite upset about it. They've both been teased as gingers when they were young and really identify with Ariel. Now, quote, their princess has been taken away and they're afraid to complain about it for being called racist. What is with the Hollywood trend of redheads being race ended into black or brown folk? Okay.
Did Weibo write this?
No. Edit number. No, get this. This is on the Mary Sue, so everyone's all, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, okay. Edit number 1. To be clear, I am not a redhead. I'm East Asian. I've also experienced associated racism, but I'm oppressed. Don't yell at me. But when people routinely are discriminated against for a physical characteristic, taking the representation away still isn't cool. I would be saying the same thing if an Asian actress would have been cast as Ariel. Edit number 2. No, there is nothing to preclude Bailey from being a redhead in the movie. But in my opinion, it's extremely unlikely, given that none of the black actors and actresses playing canonically redheaded characters end up having red hair. Holy shit, you should see how much longer this goes on in the responses back and forth. Like, it is hilarious. I don't really care one way or another, but in hindsight, a lot of redheads have become black. Yeah, it's a disturbing trend when redhead representation is being removed to make room for black representation, and redheads always feel teased because of their link to Ireland, anti-Irish racism, and the fact that redheads are a minority among whites. This is where identity politics.
They're a minority among people.
It really is, and which is the whole point of Weibo's series of videos of the truly oppressed minority videos that she's made, was that, okay, so you guys want to do identity politics, let's do identity politics. And she took it to that place of, if you really want to talk about it, redheads make up like what, less than 2% of white people. Yeah, it's like a real tiny percentage. We make up such a small percentage because we are a genetic anomaly that happens. So
most people have souls, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm ignoring that and moving on. If you want to go into Irish oppression over history, Irish have been continually shit on in the history of not only this country, but in England and the UK and things like that. So you can really want to get to play oppression Olympics. We can keep up. And then you have, like you said here, with the redheaded characters being replaced with black actors and actresses. And it just, like I said, you want to play identity politics. We can play identity politics. We don't really want to play identity politics, but we'll play this game if you want to.
Listen as they come along. And it's like, and how has, quote, their princess been taken away? And just how is, quote, their princess being taken away? And then the person responds, someone else gets into it. Well, you can make the argument that now they don't have a redheaded princess, someone else. Pretty sure the movie does not retroactively erase the original 1989 animated classic from existence. Another person gets involved. That's quite a disingenuous thing to say, considering that hell would be raised if Jasmine, Mulan, Tiana, etc. were played by a white actress, despite the fact it also wouldn't erase their animated versions. It's like, oh, do you want some steak sauce while you're eating each other? This is glorious.
Real quick, over on Streamlabs, thank you, Miles. Hey, Monkey, you mean to tell me Disney cannot create any new stories with black people? How many African myths stories are there? Seriously. Well, there's tons of them. But yeah, that's what Eric was getting at in his tweet there.
And if we want to be fair, we already have a black princess.
We do. Tiana.
Mm-hmm. She was considered a Disney princess. It's fine.
They don't want to go get an African myth and make it into a movie. They want to destroy a white one so that they can claim all the attention and love that it's already got as a secured audience.
It's exactly what Eric said here. It is pandering. It is fucking patronizing. It's like, okay, look, okay, you black people, you want some representation? Replace Honky Bitch over there. We're not going to give you a new one. No. You get sloppy seconds. The Caps and Dogs, thank you so much. Another $1 to get your money eggs into how am I supposed to read that part?
Dollar percentage.
Another $1 percentage to get your money eggs into a Disney movie. I just can't wait till they try to replace the Scottish princess from Brave. Oh yeah, I forgot about Brave. Is she blonde or is she redhead? I can't remember.
She's redhead, but
so they still have one, but they never count her.
Growing up, for me, I always my two favorite Disney movies were Aladdin and Little Mermaid.
Me too. They're the best.
Because Little Mermaid to me was, and I will say it just like, like they always talk about for me, it was just like, hey, she's a redhead just like me. I was getting teased by kids at school and being called Chucky from Rugrats and stuff like that. And at the time, for being a third grader or whatever, I was, I'm sorry, not third grade, kindergartner at the time. I was kindergarten. At the time, that was like the biggest thing in the world, is I was being picked on for my hair color and pale skin. But, looking back on it, it's like, whatever. But that was a really cool movie for me to see, was that, this character's a redhead and she gets to be the hero of the story and stuff like that. And kind of, I won't get into all the whole trans side of it, but,
no, you should have taken a pair of scissors and stabbed them and been like, Chucky from Child's Play, man.
Right?
You got the wrong Chucky.
Yeah.
No, look.
X43 agrees with me.
I didn't have the redhead thing because I have beautiful blonde hair on top. But my name, I got a lot of shit for my name. You know what was really cool? When the fucking Punisher became big when I was a kid.
Oh, really?
Oh, Frank's a nerd, is he? Check out this motherfucker. Yeah, no, I don't think representation has to be there, but I understand where it can be. Like in your case, you picked on for being, redhead, and suddenly there's the Disney princess that movie was so loved when it came out, man. Everybody loved that fucking movie. $5 for your monkey eggs. No, if I sold monkey eggs, they'd have to be like $50 to cover all the costs and everything.
I think he's giving you money to help design them and research.
Oh, gotcha.
And Jay's causes Frank is still a nerd.
Shoot you. Oh, God. We got the comic book guys on. Did you guys hear that story? Oh, that pissed me off.
That didn't tell me anything. What are we talking about?
I gotta find the actual story because I don't want to paraphrase it because I don't want to fuck it up. It was read on MSS News tonight. I'm fairly certain is where that came from. It was about the Punisher, y'all. And since we got our comic book guys here, nope, not that one. Oh, we'll read that one later.
Is it about how all white people are joining a death cult by liking the Punisher?
Not exactly.
Because we read that story on Comic Book Curation. Yeah, that was the thing.
Shit, where's that story? No, this was a story about. God, I'm gonna have to paraphrase it. I can't find it.
It's about a man named Jed who's shooting at some shoot at
No.
some food, but found some
There's-
crude instead.
A new Punisher storyline coming out where the Punisher threatens to kill police officers
No.
for celebrating him too much.
Oh yeah, I heard about this.
I swear the story was in here, but I can't find it.
I think I sent that to Polly. Let me see if I can find it.
I realize the Punisher goes outside the law, right? But wouldn't killing somebody for just idolizing you be like killing innocents?
Yeah. See, the Punisher doesn't act that way to begin with.
Right.
He
That's what it was.
Focuses on criminals.
I mean, he might. I could even see him slap him around like, "No, you need to. This is not what you should be idolizing, but not kill. I will kill you."
Well, Matthew Rosenberg is a piece of shit. Yeah, Princess Weeks wrote the article. Here, I'll put it in our group thing.
All right.
There you go.
Here. Oh yeah, it's from Mary Sue. That Punisher number 13 calls out cops who use the Punisher symbol. Earlier this year, Punisher creator, is it Jerry or Gary? Jerry Conway spoke about how unsettles him that police and other law enforcement so often wear the Punisher symbol. Now the comics themselves have addressed it in an upcoming issue. As a reminder, this is what Conway said about the issue. To me, it's disturbing whenever I see authority figures embracing Punisher iconography because the Punisher represents a failure of the justice system. He's supposed to indict the collapse of the social, moral authority and the reality some people can't depend on institutions like the police or the military to act in a just, capable way. This goes on to give within the panels, a cop says, "We have this club, sort of more of a movement. We believe in you." They show him the logo they put on their cop car, to which Frank responds, "What the hell is this?" The cop replies, "It's not the whole force. Hell, most of them want you in the ground. But some of us believe in what you do. We're going to do whatever we can to take our streets back." Frank then takes the logo and rips it to pieces and explains to them, "We're not the same. You took an oath to uphold the law. You help people. I gave all that up a long time ago. You don't do what I do. Nobody does. You boys need a role model. His name is Captain America. He'd be happy to have you." After that, apparently one of the officers explains Frank has started a movement, and it doesn't matter if he approves or not. Frank replies that he'll come for them, just like he would criminals if the officers attempt to emulate what he does. And, if that's emulate what he does, fine, because he kills outside of the law.
Kind of muffled, Monkey.
What's that?
You kind of muffled. Maybe leaning away from your bike or something.
Is it better now?
Yeah.
Okay, I leaned back a little bit. Sorry, guys. I am in a lot of pain, and I rolled back.
Oh.
I don't even read comics that often, and I'm sick of social justice in them.
Yep.
I'm sick of virtue signaling bullshit in them.
Now, I don't mind him having that sentiment of going, "No, don't idolize me. You're a person who upholds the law. I'm not." But threatening to kill the police officers kind of crosses the line and is not who he is.
I just
And what they could have done if I'd been writing it, because Jerry Conway is a huge leftist, that they could have said, "Look, we will look the other way for you,
right,
and try not to apprehend you," that sort of thing. That would be a believable sentiment, because there would be a lot of cops that are like, "Look, our hands are tied with bureaucracy. We'll feed you some information," and the Punisher wouldn't have a problem with that. But
we're supposed to arrest you, but
killing people.
Yeah, we're supposed to arrest you, but I need to tie my shoe real quick.
Yeah.
And the police do that in a lot of Marvel comics. They did it with Spider-Man. They've done it with fucking everybody. They're all vigilantes, for fuck's sake. And they do that for a lot. But because if Mr. Jerry here had some examples of the police, wearing that symbol and going out and killing people for fun, well, not for fun, because the justice system didn't work, I might see a point there. But you're missing the point. You're missing the point of your own fucking stories, man. You know why the police officers relate to this guy because their hands are tied often and they see fucking people get away with shit that they really fucking shouldn't. And this is a guy it's fantasy, you fucks.
Yeah, and technically every superhero is a vigilante.
Yep.
So it destroys it's an attempt to deconstruct the entire genre, and it's stupid because you're not working within the realm of the fantasy itself. There has to be a set of rules. If you want to have some of the cops be corrupt and are imitating the Punisher, that's a storyline you could do. But this is just lazy virtue signaling. And it's more of the same crap we see all the time. There was a Spider-Man issue that came out like a month ago where he fought crowdfunding.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Jack, you're supposed to check your Streamlabs.
Yeah, I think you're right, Jack. In that sense, it would be if it was a situation of, hey, this cop decides he's going to take the law into his own hands and act like the Punisher, and then Punisher has to stop him and realizes that maybe he needs to send a message to people that they shouldn't emulate him in that way. It would be a better story than him just telling off some cops in the street.
Yeah, it's just lazy storytelling.
Yeah.
It's ham-fisted moralizing, and it's poorly done writing.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, thank you, Hi All, who says the PC agenda is to make people racist and homophobic. Get to a point where people will just say, I guess I'm a bigot. Watch video on Antifa attack blacks, disabled old man, and now Andy. No, yeah, don't forget the disabled old man was a Jew. As they fight
They're
the Nazis.
considered white. It's fine.
Sorry,
Nazis now.
No, the Weinstein brothers. What I think it was Brett. Brett's the one who's been pushing that a lot. Like, look, if you keep telling people, this is who they are. That's what they're just gonna be like. Fuck you. Okay, I guess that's what I am.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're gonna see more of that. Let me grab a Streamlabs here real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, Evolved Potato. Redheads should be bullied for their hair, or their pale skin, or their aversion to the cross and garlic.
You said shouldn't or should?
Should not.
Okay, I was about to say should. I was like, bitch,
Vampire
fight
shaming.
me.
Plus, I mean, I feel bad for redheaded kids, but most of them grow up to be hot, man. Oh, the girls. I don't know about boys. Redheaded women, I don't know any guy who's like, oh, I hate redheads. They're all like, redheads? Hell yeah.
They're a mixed bag because there are only two varieties: hot and not.
Hot and oh my goodness.
I was gonna say, speaking of vampires, I do a Vampire the Masquerade stream every Sunday night at 8:30 p.m. Central, 9:30 Eastern. So if you guys are interested in that, you should come by and see it.
Yeah, good time to shill our shit, guys. It's a commercial break. Dun, dun, dun. We'll be right back after these messages. Hi, do you like the Ranting Monkey? This is how you can support him because he has no boss. I have no job. I'm starving. I need ramen money. Is any of this good?
Show your Teespring.
Buy a shirt so I can have ramen. No, seriously, guys. We are brought to you by you. Please support the people on the dais with me if you can, monetarily. If not, make sure you follow them. You shill them when you can when they're streaming and stuff. They're good creators. Make sure you check them out. Damn it! You could wait 5 minutes, asshole. For what? The Inquisitor says, "Buy my book." That's Jack. He's got like 100 of them. Go buy Jack's books. Okay. Polly, you still with us?
Yep.
Okay. Just making sure. I like to check in. All right, we got to get into what Far did to us here.
Oh no.
This is from Teen Vogue.
Strike one.
How to use sex magic to manifest your best self.
Strike two.
Let's talk about sex, baby. That's a Salt and Pepper song. Did you know that orgasms can help manifest desires and bring forth dreams? In magic, orgasms are considered to be the ultimate magic force. In fact, occultists believe that orgasm can help cleanse the body, produce magical power, and are a vital tool in manifesting desires. Teen Vogue, y'all.
Okay, I dated a chick that thought she was a witch.
Uh-huh.
And she was a big believer in this with a little bit of coaxing. and she was into tantric sex magic.
Oh,
which is why I wanted to date her. But
yeah,
she believed that her psychic powers were more manifest during sex because pleasure sensors open the psychic powers up. Some shit like that. There's a lot of terminology involved that I didn't care about to learn. I was just like, boobies, awesome. And yeah, this is a real thing. There are a lot of practitioners of various pagan cults that believe that orgasm has magical powers. A lot of that comes from older sex cults like Aleister Crowley's Golden Dawn, stuff like that. So you'll see that around. It's just an excuse for pervy old dudes to try and talk sexy women to taking their pants off.
Sexy teens. This is Teen Vogue.
Whoa.
I'm just pointing that out.
Well, maybe they're teachers.
Let's see. That means so far from Teen Vogue, we've had Marks, butt fucking. What was the other one? There was another really weird one from them. And now, how to do magic with sex. What kind of spells can you cast with orgasms? You can attempt to cast any spell you want using sex magic. But the first thing to remember is that magic works best when done on yourself. Using magic on others is a dangerous game. It can have unpredictable results and shouldn't be done because it's attempting to manipulate another's will. Practicing magic can work against you in the end. That's why the kind of sex we're trying to make magical here is the kind you have with yourself. The best way to elevate your inner witchy spirit is to try manifesting your own personal goals, like catching a new love, healing your heart, getting a raise, or promotion at work. Masturbate to get a promotion at work. You guys are my boss. If I start beating it right now, you gonna pay me more?
I hope not. Evolved Potatoes said they also did an article on prostitution.
Prostitution, yes, thank you. That was the other one, yeah. So anal sex, prostitution, Karl Marx, and now sex magic. God
Is there anywhere in this article where they explain that magic isn't real and doesn't fucking work?
No.
Neither does communism. They promoted that.
There are plenty of people out there who are Wiccan, who are pagan, and do believe in this kind of stuff. So I could see that that's the audience they're speaking to right now. I don't personally believe it. I'm very, very skeptical of it. I've seen results of some of the things, and I'm going, that's interesting, but how much of that was dumb luck, you know? I'm very skeptical. I don't like to just be completely dismissive of it, but
I will be absolutely dismissive of the fact that you can masturbate for a raise without
I would agree with that part, though.
Without it being your boss going, if you masturbate in front of me, I'll give you a raise.
He's also going to ask to stick his wiener in just the tip if he does that, though.
Indeed. And yeah, far exact. Teen Vogue. All of this shit is in Teen Vogue that we've been talking about with this. I'm going to throw the link in the chat. I'm not reading the rest of this shit, but
if it encourages teenagers to masturbate at work for comedy value's sake, I'm all for it.
I mean, I guess if some people are saying makeup, pretend stuff. Well, I mean, you could say the same. I'm Christian, so you could say the same thing about my religion. So I tend to just try to keep a kind of an open mind about it because.
Well, we could test their magical powers by strapping them to a pole and setting them on fire like all witches deserve. Suffer not a witch to live.
Wow.
And see if their wanking gets them off of that, huh? Let's see.
That's a little
put out some flames.
Well, you see, what happens there, Jack, is their hands are tied, so they can't masturbate.
Oh, we'll leave one hand untied so they can work their magical powers. And
Devil Fruit says, "How come this wasn't a class in Harry Potter?"
No one knows says Louis C.K. was doing it wrong.
Yeah, it's a good thing that Harvey Weinstein wasn't a wizard because there'd be like giant plant monsters running around from the potted plant he would rub it off into.
My best guess is this is exactly what happens when you have a bunch of women in their late 20s and early 30s that never stop being teenagers writing towards what they think teenagers want to hear. Oh my God. I remember when I was like totally a Wiccan in high school, which like seemed like last year. And it's like, no, honey, you're 35 without any kids or prospects. It's you. No.
You're
Speaking
into
of women
downy eggs.
who still think they're in high school, somebody sent this to me earlier, and I loved it.
It's just theory.
Who was it that sent that? Bearcock, dude. I don't know if you made that, but thank you for sending it because that's funny as shit. Donkey girl. Anyway.
Wouldn't it be Joe Biden? No. That's who bit her. Bernie. Bernie bit her.
Donkey Bender turned her into Donkey Girl.
Well, what Joe Biden turned into that orange or the red furry thing from the Bugs Bunny cartoons then? Because he sniffs all the hair up.
Donald Trump was bitten by Chester Cheetah.
Gossamer. His name is Gossamer.
Yes. I couldn't think of his name to save me.
Great reference, Jack. Great
Thank
reference.
you.
Richo says, can you put that in chat? Do you mean the picture? If that's what you meant, sure. And then I'm going to go back to scrolling where I was.
Somebody saw one of my dogs walk by in the background. Yeah, they're both hiding underneath me. They've been here all night because fucking fireworks going off. They've stopped now, but you know, every once in a while you hear a pop and they just kind of say, yeah, we're going to stay under the desk tonight.
We have some updates on the Blue Bell licking. For those of you who don't know what that is, this chick filmed her actually apparently her boyfriend or some guy that was with her filmed her licking ice cream and then putting it back into a cooler. They've tracked down where this happened.
Oh,
that's impressive.
Oh, I heard
it.
It is.
Fortran on it?
No, actually, what they did is they got the vendor involved. The police found out this was in Texas, and they got word that it was around Austin or Houston. I forget which. This isn't the long article. Sorry. But what happened? Every time they'd go to a store, it wouldn't match the pictures that they had from where she was, and so they reached out to Blue Bell, and the Blue Bell talked to their vendors, and one of them goes, "I know that store. It was Lufkin, Texas." And they've tracked it down. They have her on video coming in. She faces up to 20 years in prison for this shit.
Yeah, you don't tamper with food and put it back on the shelf. Those laws came about because of that lady that was tampering with the Tylenol back in the 80s.
Yep. Killed a motherfucker.
Yeah, that's just being a grossy. She deserves to go to jail for being a disgusting weirdo.
I don't know if 20 years is 20 years is kind of steep.
I say, what would Kim Jong-un do? We should do that.
What would Kim Jong-un do? You monster.
But yeah, they removed all of the ice cream from that location because they can't be sure which one it was, and maybe somebody already bought it, unfortunately. The mouthwash thing, yeah, because there's a lot of copycats of this shit. My favorite one is it's this kid. He goes and he opens the thing, pulls out the ice cream, and goes and puts it in his cart, and it just walks away. It's the end. Like, now,
Nice.
That was beautiful.
so
But there's one.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
The mouthwash one is it's somebody, they walk up, they pick up mouthwash and drink it and put it back on the shelf. That one is fake. That is a setup because mouthwash all comes wrapped. And it comes wrapped, and most of them have an inner seal as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a person looking to cash in on the controversy. My money, she gets 2 to 5 with 10 to 15 suspended 3-year probation. She's going to get at least, well, it's a she, so probably nothing. But yeah, you don't fuck with food. They take that very seriously, man. Very seriously. And yeah, they are on this bitch's case, man. They're going to find her. And that's quick, man. They track that down real fast. Monkey, we all know you like the soap. What?
What?
I do like to be clean, but I'm not sure what you mean by that. Paul, you were going to say something there, and I cut you off. Well, did you want to continue or?
I'm caught up staring intensely at this APO extension mic graphic equalizer. I'm wondering if my mid-range is sounding any better, and I can't tell. You know why? You know why I'm fucking with this? Because
Why?
I've noticed a steady decline in the quality of Hangouts. Like, you're clipping out and roboting slightly. Everyone is. Like, Hangouts is getting worse. Am I the only one who've noticed this?
No, it's been that way for a couple weeks now.
Like, just awful. Like, Jack, you sound terrible. Monkey's clipping out. I don't think it's anyone's internet. It's fucking Hangouts. I was listening to a playback to see if it was doing it on Comic Book Curation. You should listen to the fucking first 2 minutes of the last Comic Book Curation live we did on Wednesday. Holy shit, I sound awful. I want to take it down. It sounds so bad.
Well, I got to be honest. I've Hangouts to me has always sounded bad, and part of it is my internet. I can't tell most of the time whether it's me or somebody else, because I just always figure like, man, it's me.
No, I don't think it's you. And Deos Ty Deos says, follow you robot in Comic Book Curation. Yeah, you're damn right I did. And it was just
6 Minutes says Hangouts is being throttled. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they're killing it. We know they are. Yeah. Instead of fixing it, they're scrapping it. There wasn't a whole lot to fix. I mean, for what it is, Hangouts has worked very, very well. God, how many? Fuck, I've done. How many shows have I done on Hangouts? I've probably done over 1,000 now. And the number that I can count that there was, a major Hangouts issue that made it so we couldn't do it. Probably two shows out of all of that.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it's not perfect, and I know there's problems with it, but for what it is, it's worked very well.
See, it drives me crazy, especially my volume. When I hear myself since I switched to Windows 10, Virgil Grin says it sounds like you got a high pass filter on. I don't, but I understand exactly what you mean. Muffled, all the high end is on the mid range and high end is all fucked and gone. The bass is still there, but I sound all like underwater or something. You want to see what I mean? Go to my channel, play the first Comic Book Curation, and listen to me talk for 30 seconds and just do the intro. Then play the last Comic Book Curation. See, and the difference there is the Windows 7 driver versus the Windows 10 driver for a Blue Yeti mic. Went from clear and crisp and loved it to like you're listening to right now. It's driving me nuts.
I just went and listened, and I didn't have a problem. It sounded fine to me.
It's kind of random.
Yeah, and I get that. The Red Hawk says, why not use Discord? Well, eventually people will be, because they're getting rid of this, and some people do already. But in order to do that, I have to plug in my good internet, and if I plug in my good internet, I can't have other people on with me because of the latency issue of using satellite. And there's a lot of people who are like, well, you can't. There's nothing you can do. The signal has to be beamed into space and back down before it even gets to the.
Well, there is a big difference in the requirements for like Discord and Hangouts. So,
thank you again. Hi y'all. Hi all. I threw some redneck in there. Sorry about that. Hi y'all. EU is starting the potato famine again in Ireland. They're raising taxes on Irish farmers at the same time, taking in beef and 10 million immigrants from South America. Watch. Ireland has a beef with the EU, and it's not Brexit. Are they doing it because they're redheads? Isn't Ireland like incredibly liberal? American.
I
liberal?
heard you. I'm ignoring you.
What? Look, I have deep Irish heritage, sweetie.
I'm
that's
Scottish.
That's why my beard is red, sweetheart. It's the Irish. I mean, the blonde, I don't know how it and I have beautiful highlights. My gay hair is awesome, y'all.
My gay hair is awesome.
I have gay hair. This is what I do, and I swear to God,
does the handsome guy walk by and your hair goes?
It does, and they whistle back.
I had gay hair once, and the French were like, "We're not paying for scalps anymore. Give that back to that guy." And I was like, "Whatever."
I shower, I dry off my hair, I brush it all straight back, and then since I wear it with parted over to the right, I just push it with my hand just one time, and I leave it. And about half an hour later, when it's all dry, it's like, damn, my hair looks good. I don't have to do it's just it's gay hair. It just looks good, like gay men do. What if you ran 2 computers and logged in twice using both internets for different functions? One, I'd have to have 2 computers. And 2, I'm not sure how, because the broadcast side of it would have to come from the satellite, it would have the same problem.
You know what's funny about Faithless saying that? I've been trying to crack that code for the last week. Eve knows about this.
Oh, right. Because your laptops?
Yeah, my problem is an internet capacity. My up and down speeds are more than sufficient. I'm broke and have 2 laptops, and I would love to spread the computational requirements across 2 computers. Dude, no matter which way you reorganize it, running OBS, running the screen shares that you're going to do, it can't be done. Like, not effectively. You really need to be running all of it on the same computer.
A lot of gamers do it that way. They run their game on one and they send the stream itself out on their other one, so that it does break it up. Because with OBS can be a bitch sometimes, and there's some games. What was that? Not Destiny 2. Fuck. Can't remember the name of it. Some 2 that me and Satsu were playing. It eats your CPU, man.
Borderlands?
No. Division 2. That's the one. If you run that game and check your CPU usage, it is like almost maxed. Hi, Al. Thank you so much. Dublin is liberal, but the countryside is not. Oh, so it's like California. It's like California. You guys are. It's run by the liberals in the big city, and the rest of it's like, nah. California really should be broken up. You're sounding seriously effeminate at the moment, dude. What? Because of my gay hair? Look, I embrace my gay hair. I have no problem with it.
Don't make me do my Valley Girl accent.
Your hair just has body. It's not gay. No. Don't you dare question its sexuality. That's not fair. Don't make me post Pogo again. What? So you've had no luck with doing it between the 2 computers?
The biggest problem that comes up is when you want to be able to switch between my final thought on it, because like, remember I was telling you, Monkey, you run the experiment. What happens if you use the URL for a browser capture, but that browser URL isn't currently running on your computer?
Right.
Yeah. You get Eve ran the experiment and you get log into Google, and you can't, because you can't interact with OBS with just a browser capture. There's no way to interface with it. It's just a capture screen. So how do you type in your username and password?
Right.
So that kind of stops that. So then I got the idea, okay, what if I just do a display capture and hook up the 2 laptops to my same external monitor, which I can totally do. But then I'm going to be using 2 keyboards and 2 mouses at the same time, because you want to jump between scenes, because it's a video podcast we do, or you're going to want to share. So the browser with the stories and articles we're covering will be on one computer.
What?
Well, I'm leaning over to the other laptop to use OBS to jump back and forth between the various scenes. I mean, Jesus Christ,
Why don't you just set up 2 accounts and run the OBS on one computer? Let's call it Poly Prime.
Okay.
And you're running OBS on that. Send the invite to your second account, which we'll call Other Poly.
You don't even need 2 accounts.
Well, I'm just saying this is a possible solution. I'm not saying it's a good one or even an effective one. I don't know how to do any of this shit.
Do you guys remember how Based Mama used to do it?
Oh, I never knew how she did hers.
She used to set hers up on her computer, and then she would have it hosted on her computer, and then she would put her phone on, and she would join the same Hangout with her phone, and so there'd be 2 of her in the stream, in the Hangout stream, but she would so you don't have to. You can join a Hangout multiple times with the same account if you're joining from different devices. So she would put it on her phone, and then she'd walk around the house and do chores and stuff while she was talking in the Hangout and doing her live streams.
Faithless, I get that's what you're saying, but my problem is, no matter how I set it up, the internet I need to use to actually stream it has to be the good one, which unfortunately has the lag. Yeah, Polly, I wish I knew somebody who actually used the setup that we're talking about here. I know a lot of gamers do it. I'm not friends with any gamers.
Like, let's say that I was only, I'm only capturing the display. That's it. That's all I need OBS to do.
Mhm.
Like, I'm not going to be interacting with OBS until I hit stop streaming. Yeah, that setup that I described would absolutely work. It would work fine. It would accomplish everything I want. But you need to jump between scenes. I mean, you've seen OBS, right?
Right.
Yeah. Because the scenes would be like Jack and Quiz and I are talking, and then it's like, okay, here, let me show you this comic book page, and then I need to switch scenes.
Faithless, I get what you're talking about now. Oh, you know what? That might work. Okay, that makes sense. The audience would still be behind us with what we're. Yeah, fuck. Now I'm gonna have to figure out what you're trying to do here too, Polly. Because it depends on where we host. Yeah, if I like set up my laptop, which I haven't used in fucking years, I wonder if it even still works. And did Discord through that, but captured it and sent it through here, I could talk with you guys with no delay. It's just the audience would hear us like 6 seconds later, plus whatever the normal thing is. Faithless, I get what you're saying now. Huh.
See, I could run Discord, which is actually pretty CPU and memory hungry. When you're in a voice chat, it is. When it's just sitting there latent, no, it's actually really trim. But as soon as you join a voice chat, now your data is going back and forth, and your CPU jumps, and its RAM usage jumps. Understandably, well, I'd love to run Discord on my second laptop, but how am I capturing it if I'm running OBS on the first laptop?
Hi all, thank you again. My mom and niece both redheads. It's getting scary living with the new PC laws in Northern Ireland. You're not even allowed to talk anymore in pubs. You guys are California.
You really are.
You're not even allowed to talk in pubs? What's the
like,
point of going to a pub if you don't talk to anyone?
Like, hey all, hi all. I'm curious, like, what is it you're afraid to be overheard saying? Like, it's that PC that I'm curious. That's wild.
Well, you might be like, look, I taught my dog this cool thing where he sticks his hand up. Next thing you know, you're in jail.
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
Thank you.
Polly, the thing is, we don't necessarily have to use Discord. I wonder what other
options are available?
Yeah.
Well,
for instance, the meet feature, again, their real purpose with that is to make money. It's to get companies to pay for it. But I think you can still just use it. I'm positive they have a free option too.
But then, no matter what, like, let's say you're using Discord, or let's say you're using something else, right? The idea is to be running it, for me, is to be running it off of a second program. So let's say there's a voice chat option out there called Polytalk. And so, okay, well, Polytalk's running on the second computer. If I'm running OBS on the first computer, how do I capture that audio? It needs to be running on the first computer.
No, see, I know there's a way to do it. Let me talk to Satsu. Because I at the very least, I know he knows people who do it. So, I mean, keep trying, of course. But yeah, I'm gonna talk to him, see if he knows anybody that can help us with this, because I know that it can be done. Again, that's how gamers do it. They have their Discord on one, and that's what they send it out with, and they play their game on the other computer, so it's not eating up their CPU.
And I'm betting the computer that's running OBS is the same one that has the Discord on it.
Well, we'll see. The OBS probably has a feature like Streamlabs does, where you can link it to your account from something else.
Yep. Okay, if there's a way to do that, and Satsu knows, I would be fascinated to hear, because this has become like an intellectual challenge. How can I move these I got like 7 pieces. How do I move them all around between these 2 computers and make it work? It's become like this interesting challenge. And I bet you chat is severely disinterested in our inside baseball talk right now.
They're commenting, and most of them are complaining about Discord, and I really feel like there's a vast misunderstanding.
Yeah, there is some serious Yeah, sorry for those of you that were boring. And I know I'm the one who brought this up, so I apologize.
I'm not a huge fan of Discord. It still it has some serious optimization issues that
You
need
just
fixed.
don't understand it, sweetie.
Yes, I do. It seriously it does. Yeah.
It's got a lot of switches and buttons, and that's part of the problem. Is people go into it expecting a much simpler program because it looks simple on the surface, and then you open up the hood and realize how many things it actually does and can do, and it's a lot. And if you want to have it locked down and secure, then you have to do a lot of work to it. But I've got mine locked down, so.
Mine's not even. I'm not even worried about the lockdown. I've gone through and I could have just locked mine down instead of shutting it up. No, my problem is the use the CPU usage that fucker takes. That's what I mean by optimization. I don't care about the other stuff. There are other computers that my old computer. It took forever for Discord to even load up, and this one is fucking a very nice computer, and it's still. The first time you start it up each day, it takes for fucking ever. It has optimization issues that they need to go in and tweak. But no, somebody mentioned this earlier, and I'd already seen it. Dusty Smith. Do you guys know who Dusty Smith is?
Cult of Dusty?
Cult of Dusty.
Gabby Hayes, yeah.
He's decided to have a go at Shoe on Head.
Oh.
Oh,
good luck.
Fight.
Well, she has no supporters, so it's going to be brutal for her.
Right.
Oh boy.
Dusty's going to get his ass kicked. Let's see.
Wait, are you telling me a toothless guy is attacking a hairless girl?
Yes, I am actually.
Oh my
That's
God.
mean. You do know she sometimes listens to this stuff,
I
right?
don't give a fuck. I think she's a bitch.
Oh my God.
Be nice.
Hey,
Okay.
let me just say, Shu, if you're listening, hi, big fan.
I like Shoe. I don't always agree with Shoe.
I'm
Yeah,
the
that was
same way.
harsh. The last thing that where's it go? He apparently okay. Let me go to the other one.
Hey guys, Jack is divorced. Did you know that?
Fuck.
I was just gonna let the disavowals sit. So
No, I just like Jack is like an embodiment of the id. You know, there's like the ego, superego, and the id. The id
Right.
is like your impulse.
So like fuck
yeah.
it.
And the super ego is what constrains the impulse. Jack don't have no super ego. He's just
ain't
all
got time
id.
for that. That
Exactly.
governor switch has been off for 10 years and it's not going back on.
Oh shit.
Yeah, super chat.
Hi all, thank you. Irish people are getting kicked out of pubs for talking politics, but the migrants can talk politics all they want. Oh, that kind of
Yeah,
shit.
they got brown privilege.
And for the record, as far as I know, Shu takes most criticism pretty well. How could she not?
Sorry, Monkey. Yeah, I was just going to say, as big as she is, she must get all kinds of criticism that, like, only she realizes the scale of it. You know,
Right? And again, she does have a very devoted following, man. You fuck with Shu, you better come prepared because they will tear you up.
Okay, I need to address something.
Sure.
Zelthor said, this explains everything about Jack. Ha! Joke's on you. I've never been married. I still own all my cool stuff.
I got extremely lucky in my divorce. See, that's funny part is the one of the four of us here, I'm the divorcee. So
I like that Jack's defense of his ability to deal well with people is I've never been married.
Oh, I don't deal well with people. That's why I've never been married. Does this make me look fat? Yeah. No, your fat rolls make you look fat. It's not the dress's fault.
God damn.
Do some sit-ups, bitch. Oh.
Zelthor said this still explains everything, though.
Yeah,
Okay. So here's what happened. Apparently, some of Shoe on Head fans, or at least that's who is getting blamed for it, got Dusty in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And Dusty,
The girl has what, 1.2 million subscribers. There's liable to be some bad eggs in that bunch.
well, I just want to point this goes back to August of last year when that happened. And Dusty is apparently now very upset about it. I don't know what the tweet before this is, but this is the one that she quoted. It says, Yes, she would. Her fan base had my main Twitter account. It took me 10 years to build up, permanently banned, and she didn't say shit about it. She is not a good person. And then she tweeted out, the two where she actually told people, don't do this. So she absolutely did say something about it, Dusty. But then this gets posted up. Dusty says, I was added to a private Twitter group of popular and semi-popular figures on the left that some might consider SJW chat. And the guy who created it just forbid everyone from talking negative about Shoe on Head in it. I feel like I'm in a crazy world. And David Sharat, oh shit rat, we're familiar with him, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This was his response. Bruh, you were talking about her nonstop and we're starting constant repetitive arguments that went nowhere. Half of us didn't really even like her, and it was getting too much for us.
Well, Dusty is an idiot, though.
He's an asshole. He's a moron. He's one of those those people who he seems everything he does is just to try to get attention, and it works. It really does. I mean, like right now, we're talking about Dusty because he's decided to go after Shoe. Dusty also said this. There are some on the left who covet her million subscribers and believe they can change her and use her like some sort of weapon against the right. Criticizing her does not jive with their plans, so dissent must be stifled.
Dusty is so thirsty for attention that's why he targeted her, I think, because, I mean, let's face it, Armored Gregory is way easier of a target.
Sure.
Mostly because he's gigantic, but fat jokes and stuff.
Fat.
Yeah, I think he's just going after her to get attention. He is so desperate to be relevant again.
Mm-hmm.
He misses that limelight, and he's not smart. He's not interesting. I don't like Shoe, but going after her is stupid and incredibly pointless.
Well, if you have a problem with something she said, I mean, one of the streams I started was specifically about her. It had her in the fucking title, and she showed up in the chat, and we talked about her while she was sitting here listening to us. But it was about something she actually said. He's just over here bitching because he doesn't like Shoe.
Yeah,
that's different.
Yeah, she's the target of the month, so he could try and get attention. He does this all the time. He tries to pick fights with people so they'll notice him and stir up a little bit of controversy. So maybe some eyeballs will land on his channel and he'll get some desperately views. He's more forgettable than Steve Shives. And when was the last time you heard anyone talk about Steve Shives?
Nobody talks about Steve anymore.
Yeah, but he still receives money from VidCon for being exciting new creator of the year.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Which tells you a lot about what's going on at VidCon.
Well, if you know anything about the Green Brothers, it's not surprising.
This is true. That's very, very true.
Well, this is all for Krusty Dusty to get away from his image of the Westerns that he was in with Roy Rogers. And, it's hard to break off that kind of stardom, but it's sad. It's just pathetic. He's just a sad, weird little man who desperately wants to get noticed again, and he'll go after anyone that he thinks will get him noticed.
And you are sad, stranger little man.
Yeah,
and again, that's fine, but it's Shoe on Head, for fuck's sake. She does all of her videos have basically an anti-SJW slant. Pick something she said, for fuck's sake.
Oh, of course not, because if he picked an actual argument, then they could easily refute it. But he just generally waves a hand in her face, and they're just like, "Oh well, it's just, he's not picking an argument on purpose."
Look, there's a ton of people out there that if you criticize them, you're going to get just shit on by their fan base.
Yeah, and I mean, we've seen it with vegans, flat earthers, Jim.
And I am of the opinion you can go after anyone if you think they're wrong. But this isn't. I think he seems to be mad that people want to be friendly with her.
Yeah, because he doesn't have any friends.
That's true.
But you have friends on the internet. What are you talking about?
Friends. That shit pisses me off. You can't have friends on the internet.
All
my friends are on the internet. Shut up.
Do you think he just cries and rocks himself to sleep every night going, I was a somebody once?
Yeah. Excuse me. That wasn't my mic or Hangouts. That was my throat. I think he had such a taste of fame, and he did. He really did, guys. And then it was all stripped away because he went stupid, like real stupid. And you see this with actors a lot. Sometimes with musicians, especially once like VH1 started doing those "Where Are They Now" kind of thing.
Yeah.
Let's put a bunch of has-been singers in a Big Brother house and see what happens. But they chase the fame. They want that taste back. And yeah, I think that's exactly what it is with Dusty. And again, yes, I have no idea. I'm not in his brain, but just my opinion. Oh, I forgot about this. Oh, Joss Whedon. Joss Whedon decided to speak up for. You want to hear Joss Whedon's 4th of July celebratory?
I really
tweet?
don't, because it's probably gonna make me upset.
We're gonna do it anyway.
God damn it!
This is Joss Whedon, creator of Buffy. We have a racist, fascist president who's using armed thugs and law enforcement and illegal militias to keep us cowed and hopeless, and he'll take the 2020 election by armed force and blatant treasonous criminality. And that's us now. We're the country with concentration camps, so happy 4th.
Ha! Joke's on him. Obama can't run again.
What is this? The plot for the new movie he's writing?
I don't fucking know, man.
It'd be a little rapier with a fake feminist that uses his feminism to hit on chicks.
Like, it's completely unconnected from reality. What the fuck are you fucking talking about? He's going to force his way militarily into office for the next election? Like, Joss Whedon, what the fuck are you talking about, man?
Joss, shut the fuck up and go back to making TV shows.
Go back to banging women who aren't your wife.
Oh. And potentially raping them, because there was some of that allegation going on too.
Who has heard from Fisty since Bering stopped talking about her? She still shows up. She still does stuff. She doesn't get talked about as much anymore because
I saw her all over Twitter the other day.
Yeah, she blocked me on Twitter like 2 years ago. She was one of the first people to block me on both Twitter. She has me blocked on YouTube, you guys. Cunt.
She engages too much, so I don't think she uses block bots like Shives does, but because she engages and argues too much. So as long as you don't really argue with her or engage her, she doesn't block. So she hasn't blocked me yet.
I hadn't said shit to her, but I had called her little buddy chicken fucker.
That was just accurate.
Well,
I got blocked by him too.
Yeah, I got blocked for chicken fucker by both of them.
You know what? Number One Nowhere makes a really good point. He'd be in Canada if he believed any of it, referencing Joss Whedon.
You would think.
Like, it's like,
yeah, but
do you know what happened when a situation not even as far gone as you just described happened? Because that's what happened in Nazi Germany, especially after Adolf Hitler was not just but had emergency powers given to him. It still wasn't as far gone as you're describing. But even under those circumstances, people were fleeing the country en masse to the point where there was a huge emigration problem to other countries that started demanding money to accept more immigrants because there were so many of them flooding their borders surrounding Germany at the time. Joss, if anything you were saying was even remotely close to being true, there wouldn't be an immigration problem to the United States. It would be an emigration away problem. People would be fighting to get the fuck out of the country before the black-booted, jackbooted thugs show up at their door. The fuck are you talking about, bro?
Holly, you can't use logic with crazy people. It doesn't work.
It's just like we were discussing on my stream earlier. We were talking about how celebrities have all these hot take opinions, but they don't understand what they're talking about half the time. They have half thought up ideas and then they want to turn around and tell you what you should think. And it's like, no, you don't even understand what you're talking about. Why would I listen to you?
Well, this is like the Kaepernick thing, that we're talking about people who have never experienced depression ever. And they think all these minor slights, like Trump saying something on Twitter, equals the same thing as what people were going through when Weimar collapsed.
Right.
It's not. And they cannot cognitively grasp that because they don't know history and they have nothing to draw from. These are not smart people most of the time. But they truly believe it. I know some diehard anti-Trumpers, and they really believe that we are living in fascist Germany. And I was like, you do not understand what happened in fascist Germany at all.
No, they have no clue at all. Real quick, I'm putting up your picture you made for the 4th of July here, Polly. I hope you don't mind.
No.
That's patriotic AF, motherfucker.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, that's from I didn't make that. That's a cover of a Baltimore Comic-Con from 2016 special edition that of only 350 copies of it they sold is at that con alone from Zenoscope, who's famous for doing sexy babes. And what am I going to not use that image? It's so awesome. Do you know what that is behind there, by the way, Monkey? The writing, I mean. Can you take a guess?
Well, it's you, so I'm guessing Washington.
No. Good guess. Nice guess, but no.
I can't really read it, so I'm trying to get some
Fair enough. It's the poem, The Star-Spangled Banner, in Francis Scott Key's own hand.
Oh yeah, early light right there. Last gleaming. Oh, there we go.
I went to the PBS website and downloaded the full scan that they have of it and used that as the background because I care about quality, damn it.
No, that's yeah, I was just having trouble because it's not real written. Dude, you need to learn how to make your letters a little bit better.
On that note of Polly caring about quality, you guys have no idea how much effort he puts into all of the stuff that he makes. Like,
he puts too much effort.
He really does, because
he's not wrong. It's sad. Really.
He takes such extra care to make sure tiny little details that he adds to an image. Like, there's stuff that you guys, unless you just analyze the thumbnails that he makes for his videos, you would never even know. But
do you want to know what I've been complaining about, chat, behind the scenes? Complaining in a totally jealous sort of way to Jack, to Monkey, to Eve. So I was on it was like, I don't know, 3-4 days ago when Monkey, you were here, Sinatra was here, and Jack was here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you end the stream, and then Sinatra says, "Yeah, oh no," he said live. He said live that what anything you want to shill, Sinatra? He's like, "Yeah, I got a video. I'm gonna make a video out of it, so I'm gonna whip that up real quick. It should be up in about an hour." And I thought, right, motherfucker, it was up in less than an hour. Less than an hour, guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know how upsetting that was to me? Think about this for a second. The guy sat down in front of his computer, had this raw audio. It was the one he did on Hassan Piker. This is okay. So he's got the Hassan Piker original video. He sits down with this, opens up his editing program, does his recording, edits it all together, and renders it, and uploads it, and lets YouTube process it. And that whole procedure was done in less than 1 hour from the time he said it would be up. Blew my mind.
In fairness, he probably had downloaded everything he needed.
Yeah.
He'd probably already done his thumbnail. He lives in a city, so he can get good internet. So uploading it's not a big problem. If you live in a city, you can. What was that one? It was like a 14-minute video, I think it was.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
He with his render time, what he told me, that probably took him about 6 or 7 minutes to render. Uploading probably less than 2. Yeah. The stuff that me and Sinatra do, it's not that hard. It's not, and I've showed you because Polly has showed me like the video that what's the word I'm looking for, in the editor, how it looks, and you get to see all the breaks and everything, guys. Holy shit! And then I showed him mine from the last one. You know, I mean, it's child's play compared to what you're doing. You put a lot of work into it, and that's a good thing. It really is.
I mean, breaking into that habit.
A lot of those audio cuts that you see, like when there's like, it looks like there's like 1,000 little cuts to edit it all together. It's because there was, but it's because it's Jack Quiz and myself, or when Weibo and I did it, the recording that we did. It's like, okay, Weibo and I was just over an hour and a half. It was like an hour and 35 minutes, and it's all cut down to a grand total of 43 minutes of content. And so you have to do a lot of fancy editing work to make that sound consistent. If you go listen to it, and cutting out all of my breathing in and all that shit I can't stand that I do on the mic that I can only pick up when I Audacity record and shit. Yeah, it ended up taking, it was like 3 days of editing to do that.
And sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm done. It's just like that. That's how it turns into that much work. Oh man, to hear Irate Bears giving me constructive criticism, and it was all constructive, all very useful, right up to the point where he said, "But honestly, man, you got to work better on the video elements. It looks like it was made in Windows Movie Maker." And I was like, "Oh,
tell him not to judge my video making style."
That was like, Bear, why didn't you just reach right over the fucking Atlantic and punch me square in the nuts, man?
Do you know what he meant by that?
Yeah, he went into explain. It's like there's not enough transitions. There's too many static images, things along those lines.
Yeah, he is so judgy.
Well, you also have a lot of the pictures that were barred on the sides, which is a dead giveaway of Movie Maker because it's so limited.
Limited, awesome, more like.
Look, I like Movie Maker. That's what I started with, and if I could have got my monkey image on top of the fucking video in there, I would have done it because you can stack audio, but you can't stack video in that fucking thing.
No,
or
that's
at least
much work.
You couldn't in the previous iteration. I haven't used it, but in a long time. I love Movie Maker. I tell people like when they're starting out, what should I get? Like, get Movie Maker. It is really simple to use, and unless you're poly, you have a video done in a day.
Well, no, I mean, I get what his point was, but then I when somebody's trying to give you constructive criticism, it is not helpful to anyone to start launching into defenses of your own stuff. You know what I mean? Because that's not, you're going to start getting more defensive when you like, well, what was I supposed to tell him? Like, Bear, you're talking about like a static image. Like if the image is a profile picture of some, like this was the MCU ladies one, right? It's like, that's the size of the fucking picture, man. Like, what am I going to, I'm not going to stretch it out to be 1080 by 1920 because it would look ridiculous. I mean, that's the size of the image.
Let me help you. You watch Sinatra, right?
Yeah.
In the background, he constantly has something moving.
Well, that's when the helpful part of the advice came in. He says, because you're not doing zooms or anything. And I said, actually, man, if you look at those pictures, I took the hour to make sure, and it took me an hour, that every single one of those pictures has a slow zoom on it. So it's actually in motion while you're watching it. So it's not as static. And he said, but look at all this black space. You got to fill it with stuff. Why don't you have like your logo there or something, or a blurred out comic page, something to give it more than just pure black on both sides, because it doesn't look good. And I'm like, okay, that was actually useful. That Movie Maker comment, though, that was a dull knife right between the ribs, man. That was
knife right between the ribs.
That's the stacking issue with Movie Maker, because that is literally why I moved away from Movie Maker, is because I couldn't put my monkey image on the page with whatever I was doing, right? Unless I took everything off, went into fucking Photoshop, did it in there, and then put it back in. Where like in Premiere, I can stack whatever I want, all my different elements. It's how the ducks came to be, actually. The criticism you're talking about right there. Nobody had criticized me for it, but I kept reading things say, you need a moving background. I'm like, all right, fuck it. Let me go see what B-roll's out there. And the ducks, just because of one offhand comment, became, the go-to. So, yeah. You know what would be really good in there, Polly? In your background you've made for your fucking streams.
Oh, the noir-esque one? Yeah.
Yeah, just have that up in the back for everything. And then it would only show when you need it, but you'd, drag it out for the whole fucking... You wouldn't even...
You've got a couple of them lined up too that you've been working on.
Yeah. Just a thought. I'm not telling you what to do.
Out.
Just something like that, so there's something else to look at, even if it's still static. I don't agree with Bear that you can't have static, because fuck, almost all my shit is static. But yeah, the black causes people to have seizures or something. I don't know.
I get what Bear's point was. He goes, it's just not interesting to look at, mate. There's nothing there. And he's not wrong. And he's not wrong.
Look, it was still a great video, man.
Well, thank you.
No, I keep telling people I'm going to fucking retweet it again until people watch this fucking thing.
Don't tweet racism at people before you do that.
I will do my best not to. Now, what he means by that is the word racism.
Yeah. because
not being racist.
Monkey very generously tweeted out like, "Hey, check out this Hot Ladies of the MCU video that Polly made with Weibo Jones." But right before then, he had called somebody racist and got himself or used the word racism in a
called
tweet.
him racist.
Okay, called somebody racist and got himself shadow banned for a period of time. So that tweet got put in an interstitial.
No traction at all. It's like, damn.
Hey, for all the gamers out there, I was looking at that. I've been telling everyone about this, but it just really blew me away. Here, look at this.
What are we looking at?
I want to live in this bedroom.
Oh,
Where's that
yes. If we looked it up, it's actually a mod for Fallout 4. So you can download that and play it and have that as a player home in Fallout 4.
Hey, look, it doesn't look like a fucking cartoon.
Yeah.
Because somebody really took some time putting this together, man. It's supposed to be cyber noir. What did they call them? Light apartments, cyber apartments, something like that. I forget.
Cyber light apartments is what it was.
Cyber light. Yeah. And it's like, oh, holy shit. I want to live in this place, man. Look at I love this leaning couch, day bed. I forget what they're called at the foot of the bed. That's fucking perfect. Look, bottle of whiskey over there and everything.
See, when modding's been around for ages and years. There's been people who've modded games for a long time. But when Skyrim came out, for some reason, all the modders came out of the woodwork and created so many different things for all these Bethesda games. And it's exploded exponentially. And
I had to get like a little education, because I'm like, wait a minute, how do you mod a game that you yourself didn't make? I still find that because I'm not a gamer, right? So I find that mind blowing that you can mod a game that came from Bethesda. Like it doesn't have digital locks and stuff on it to stop people from doing precisely that. I find it weird.
Some do and some don't. Like if you go into a lot of older games, they didn't think to do that kind of stuff, to like encrypt things. So you just have the image files just sitting there in a folder on your computer, and you just go, well, here's all the skins for every character in this game. So if I just take this image right here that I want to be the skin and rename it to this, when the game pulls it up, it doesn't care what the image actually is. It just looks for the name. So it pulls up that name, and then it goes, bing, here's your character skin. Here's your character model. That's how I modded the Vampire the Masquerade a little bit and replaced my character model and skin. And all it does is just change the names of, it replaces the actual character model with something. So the game just brings up the name. It searches for the name and says, okay, this is what I need.
Yeah, it just looks for the file name.
Yeah.
And then you get the ones that are like total conversion mods, and they can go in. There's some games that aren't locked down purposefully. Back in the day, some people did. They would completely lock it down. Basically, the only thing you got was the exe file. Mm-hmm. But then there, Counter-Strike, coming from, help me out here. What's the name?
Valve.
Half-Life. Yeah. That made a huge modding community, because they basically made a whole new game. And then you had so many that came out for Half-Life, and then Half-Life 2, of course. The Quake, when Quake first came out, people just started breaking the engine for that. Yeah, it's amazing some of the stuff these guys do. But one of the game, what game really helped the modding community? It was Neverwinter Nights.
Oh, holy shit.
My son just got introduced to that game. Oh, and he's so happy with it. He told me he'd never played it, and I'm like, dude. And it was on sale, so I bought it for him real fast. And he texted me the other night, Dad, this game is amazing. It's like, yeah, I know, right? But they set it up, Polly. They actually gave everybody the tools to mod it easily.
That's what I was going to say about Bethesda, because Bethesda always makes a creator's kit for their games as well. So there's one for Skyrim, there's one for all the Fallout games that they actually
SDK, yeah,
that they actually give you a thing that says, here's the tools you need to work with to create things for our game.
You should see the character that Eve was showing me that she modded out. I mean, she can't show you because the character's like.
I can say the one that I have. Like, yeah. I can't show you the ones that.
It's like we were talking about the sexiest tattoos that women can have. And so Eve started referencing this character that she'd used a bunch of mods to build, and like, oh, here, let me just slap this tattoo on this character. And like, oh, here's the picture. And I'm like, wow, that character is extremely nude and shiny. It's like, this is a mod, right? The game doesn't actually play like this. And she's like, oh, yeah, that's a mod.
Yeah.
Hang on a sec. Jack, you still there? Did we lose Jack?
He's muted.
Oh, he's muted.
Yeah, you might have stepped away for a minute.
Black Romeo says Neverwinter Nights started strong, then just kind of ended, but it's still awesome. That thing had an active modding community for 10 years. 10 fucking years before it finally started dying down. And it only really died down. Neverwinter Nights 2 was a disappointment. It really was.
I like Demo Man's statement. It's because modders do Bethesda's job. I'm not joking.
Well, that's nice, Eve.
Yeah, she's completely modded. Like the character model is a mod, the armor is a mod, her tattoos are a mod. If you look here at her back, this backpack is something that's modded that it gives me all sorts of bonuses and stuff. The axe is actually functional. I think the only thing on her that's not modded is probably her bow. Because that's actually from the game itself, but everything else is a mod.
Black Romeo says I meant the base story, by the way. Yeah. What happened with that is they decided to go to paid DLC for their mods, and that ended up causing some problems. Yeah, it sucked. But yeah, there were still tons of, they made it so easy. I modded several stories in that. Played on several servers that people had set up with modded games. It was amazing.
You back, Jack?
Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome back, sir.
It was just wondering if you went and got a drink or whatever. We saw you were muted there for a little bit, so I thought I'd ask.
Back was hurting. I did get up and move around.
Oh, damn. How's it been doing, man?
It was pretty good till today. May have hurt it a little more.
I feel you, man. I went and mowed some of the lawn, and that's why I'm streaming right now, is because there's no way I can sleep, and I've been moving very, very, very little bit as I sit here, which is going to hurt when I start moving too. But
yeah,
it feels like somebody is from the bottom of my neck to about mid back, like somebody is squeezing the fuck out of my spine while they're sticking spikes into it. It's not a good feeling.
Have you considered an exorcism?
No. Should I?
Can't hurt.
That's what they told me about the pain clinic. Holy fuck, man. They sent me to the pain clinic, right? And they're like, okay, where's the pain? And so I show them where the worst pain is that day. And it's in my left shoulder. He goes, okay. So I'm going to touch. We're going to find the exact spots that hurt the most. All right. And so he does that. And he goes, all right, I'm going to give you 4 shots. And I'm cool. Let's do what we got to do. I'm not afraid of needles, so no big deal there. I'm just laying there waiting. He gives me the first shot. I'm like, oh my God. He gives me the second shot, and it hurt so bad that I started crying instantly and literally could not stop for half an hour.
Jesus.
Yeah. I'm sitting. He goes, all right, we're not doing any more. I go sit in the waiting room waiting because they had to watch me for a little bit, and then they let me go. But that whole time, just tears. I wasn't, not doing just tears streaking down my face, and I couldn't stop. It sucked. Did you ever use your TENS machine? Yeah, I use it, but it doesn't help. The whole reason the doctor wanted me to try that was because electrocuting me for the what is it, EMG, whatever that fucking test is, seemed to help for. I'm not sure. Whatever one, it tests your nerves.
Oh no, that's not. Sorry.
They stick a needle up here and a needle down there, and then zap it. Like, holy fuck. That was torturous. But when it was done, I felt pretty decent for about 2 days. And she was like, my doctor's like, well, maybe a TENS machine would help. It doesn't, but it does help with loosening muscles that are a little sore. So it has a purpose. It's just not the purpose it was supposed to be, or that we were hoping for.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to take advantage of all of the gamers here in the chat because you guys know stuff. That's a sprite sheet, I've come to find out they're called.
Yeah.
For just a generic sedan car. Mm-hmm. Where would I go? And I've tried image searching on different search engines and stuff. And this is a PNG file, so they're all like transparency supporting, so you can just cut them out easily. where would I go to find a sprite sheet like this for an old timey car, like an old Packard or something you'd see from the 1940s? I've looked around, and mostly the sprite sheets are like hot rod cars and sports cars and ambulances and police cars and shit. This is the most basic looking one I could find, and it's not bad, but I'd like a 1940s car if at all possible. So,
you'd have to find a game somebody modded that for, or I don't know. I can't think of one. With that kind of style, you're looking at. I'm assuming this is for the driving down the street thing.
Yeah, I mean, this is how I get caught in details. It doesn't really matter because the distance of the car. I mean, did you notice when you saw the animation test that I did of the car moving? Like, could you tell that it wasn't a 1940s car? It's like it's so distant and small. But I care about the details. Damn it.
Well, with that, I mean, it would probably do better if you had like a specific model of car you were looking for.
Right.
Yeah, and looking up old timey isn't really useful.
Yeah,
That's
what game did that come from?
Oh, that was actually on a like a site for people who are building games. It's not from a specific game. It's a sprite sheet that somebody made,
okay.
And it's like sprite elements was the thread that it was in. People just sharing different sprites that they have of people, of cars, of all sorts of things.
Yeah, did you try looking up classic or vintage cars?
No, I didn't try vintage.
Yeah, because games like Mafia and Mafia 2 and LA Noire, like Black Romeo said, I'm sure there's something similar out there.
That's a good point. Look up. That's a good point. Black Romeo makes. Look up different, because there's game specific. Are there any mods for games that are set in that era? Yeah.
That's check. Don't forget The Godfather.
Yeah.
Peter says, I'd like to give you advice, Monkey, but I know it doesn't help. And I appreciate every time somebody does give me advice, because I realize where it's coming from. It can get, what's the word I'm looking for?
Ooh, spritersresource.com. That sounds very useful. Thank you, Keenan. Awesome.
I appreciate it when people, like, you should try this. I've tried pretty much everything I've ever heard of, and I appreciate it. But that's why I like having a show like this and such a loyal audience, because most of you already know, like this is just what I got to deal with until the pain goes down a little bit. PNG is probably a web game. It depends. Like I said, this was for people to make their own game. So,
Oh, holy shit! Look at this.
I would. Sorry.
No, I mean the first sheet that I went to, all sorts of old timey cars right off the bat, all PNGs, all nice angles and shit.
Oh,
very nice. Thank you, Keenan. It's good, man. Crowdsourcing knowledge is awesome. It's
look. I have a smart audience. They're funny. They're loyal. You guys, I don't know why. You guys are amazing. Best audience on the planet, man. Keenan says, no problem. Love the content, man. There you go.
Nice.
See? Yeah, every so often, like, Scribe, we need to look that up. I'm like, audience. And I know the audience doesn't have to look it up because there's somebody, we have such a diverse audience. There's somebody out there that knows fucking everything. And not one person who knows everything, but, between them, somebody knows without having to look it up. And it's just like asking a friend.
Actually, Jack Gunsky just put up another link from Spriter's Resource, but it also mentioned previously something, Monkey, you should look up: voice meter, virtual audio mixer.
Mm-hmm.
Import and meter anything contains a virtual audio cable, which is extremely useful. If Hammer and I had known about this about 8 months ago when we were fucking around, I might be able to import just the audio through a direct USB connection, because it's import any audio from any source, and this is the virtual mixer to do it with, and it's a free download. Voice meter, very useful. Thank you, Jack.
I wonder if my capture card would work with my what if my capture card would work with my...
Actually, Ramen Noodles just asked, have you seen the pictures on the hashtag? The weird
sorry,
pictures. No, I didn't see any weird pictures. I saw 4 super hot redhead pictures.
Yeah, I like that one. No, he sent in some like weird clowns. Oh, he also sent in some nice cheerleaders. Man, I like a cheerleader.
I mean, this redhead, like, first picture, you gotta love a lady in an American flag swimsuit. The third picture, she looks a little weird. It looks like she's had some odd surgery on her lips and stuff. But that second picture, man, a redhead with a bubble butt. That's
Yeah,
whew.
that's hot. Is this all the same girl?
I think it is. I think this is all. I think that's all the same
where are we
lady.
sharing this?
Oh, I'll share it. Hang on. We'll just do this the easy way. It's in chat. No. There we go. Guys, don't forget to support the people on stream. Eve, I don't have your links, so you have to throw them in. But everybody else's links, all of it is down below. Twitter. Don't forget to follow everybody on Twitter. Cass, you're just Cass Eve on Twitter, right?
Eve_chaos, actually.
There you go. Eve_chaos. Make sure you follow her. That's the best way to find out when your favorite creators have done something, because YouTube doesn't like to tell you. YouTube has the, and I'm going to bitch about this again. I've done it before. They have the dumbest setup to let your followers find you. Because this is what you have to go through. First of all, the creator has to make the video and then say, I want to send this to my audience. We have to say that we want to send it to the audience. Who the fuck else are we making it for?
Well, it also begs the question to me, like, but they wouldn't be your subscribers if they didn't want your content.
Right. So first, the creator has to do that. And then the person has to follow you. And then they have to click the bell. And then they have to say, I want to know every time they do something.
Mm-hmm.
4 goddamn steps.
I love the order of these tweets taken out of context. That's awesome. Chaos Eve in Twitter, Chaos Eve. Great cam shows, though. It's like, Eve, you doing cam shows now? Shit.
Wait, what?
Functional wrote that redhead is named Austin White. She's half plastic. Then you happen to just put in your Twitter account, and then he wrote after it, great cam shows, though. So it looks like he's saying it about you. It's great. It's like,
I was like, oh.
Eve be doing cam shows, getting in on the money.
Fuck Twitter. Look, man, I know a lot of people like, I don't like Twitter. If you have any kind of social presence, be it even Instagram or Facebook, you really need a Twitter. Twitter is still the best way to interact with your audience.
It really is. I mean, because other than, your live stream chats, which I know there's a lot of people here that only see each other in the live stream chats, and they're just like, oh, I can't wait until, tomorrow night when I get to see my friends again. And it's like, but you don't have to. Get on Twitter, message them, DM them,
No, the only way to see your friends is to come here again.
I mean,
what are you doing, Eve? What are you doing to me?
Sorry.
This is how my Discord died. We'll just go somewhere else and chat. No, she's not wrong. If you want to talk to these people, a lot of them are on Twitter, man.
No, your Discord died because we made our own server.
Exactly. Like, we're talking to each other. We don't have to do it over on his spit. No, that's all right. Did we talk about the woman breastfeeding yesterday?
That narrows it down.
Well, did we talk about any breastfeeding yesterday?
I don't remember. I imagine we probably did at some point. We tend to meander a bit.
Well, there was, I'm pretty sure you would remember this. What's her name? Sugar Tits. She had screen captured some Australian Yahoo article about this woman who's getting some flack because she posted a picture and talked about the fact she still breastfeeds her 4-year-old.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's not that uncommon anymore. I knew a chick that I used to work with in the psychology field, mind you, that breastfed her kid up until 7.
Look, after that child can chew its own food, that is not breastfeeding anymore.
There was a TV show that made a joke about that one time. Like, the kid was like 12 and just walked over to his mom and was like, hey, Mom, I'm hungry. And she just like stuck his head under her shirt. And the guy comments that was sitting there watching this unfold. He goes, I think you need to stop when Junior can unhook Mommy's bra with one hand.
Right.
Yeah.
After they can eat them, eat regular food, unless you're in some starving country and that's the only way you can feed them, that's not for the kid anymore.
Right. And even then, your body has to process the food that you eat to make that food for them. So there's not really much point. Just feed the kid fucking food.
Yeah, that's mommy going Game of Thrones, and that's who was it? Assassin. Fuck, over on Twitter, he's the one that pointed out, like, that's getting into Game of Thrones territory. If your 4-year-old is sucking on your titty, stop it now, right now. I want you to go sit in the corner and leave that child alone for like a week. Because no. How the fuck you let a 4-year-old suck on your titty?
Well, it's an attachment disorder. They can't let go of the power dynamic.
Andrew says it was an episode of Scrubs. It may have been, but I know it's in a movie too.
That's what it was. It was Scrubs. That's the one I'm thinking of.
That's a real thing, though. It's a real problem that some moms can't let go, and they want the baby because of the attention it gets them. It's almost a form of Munchausen by proxy at that point.
Well, I want to find. Trying
Jack.
to find a picture.
I just found a Sprite for the Batmobile. Yeah, I'm having that drive down the street in my noir image. Fucking right I am.
So you're finding all of the ones you want.
Yeah, this Spriters resource has got a lot of stuff. I mean, if you're looking to build a game, it's got all the things, man. Zelda is an entire Poker Man section.
Here, this is the picture from that story.
And she looks exactly like I expected.
Yeah, Jesus. Why?
How? Australia, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing?
Well, be careful. She'll want to talk to your manager.
Oh, my God. She's breastfeeding a fucking 4-year-old. I feel like you should be arrested for that.
There's no crime against that.
Well, is there an age? Okay, I'm not sure. I want to even know the answer to this. Is there an age where it's illegal to suck your mom's titties?
Okay,
I don't know that that's a situation like in Florida until like 97. They didn't have a law against necrophilia because when did that ever have to come up?
Right. Well,
I've got a biological question. It's coming from just ignorance. I just don't know. Does a lady not stop lactating after a certain while of giving birth? Like 7 years? How are you still lactating?
No.
Just like a
As long as you continue to stimulate it, they will continue to produce milk. It's just like a cow.
Okay.
Faithless, I'm with you, incest. But if you're saying they're eating, I mean,
yeah, it's a fetish after a while. She's either got a mental disorder, an attachment disorder, or she's a pervert.
I'm bordering on pervert because that's where my mind always goes. But I'm seriously curious. How is there a law that says that okay, you can't breastfeed beyond this point?
I doubt it.
There definitely should be.
No, you'd be putting laws on bodies.
If your child is 18, they shouldn't be sucking your boobie.
I think it should be. It's like one of those things like with abortion. I don't think it should be encouraged, and I think it should be very much frowned upon societally. But I don't think we should legislate that.
I would like to point out that if he doesn't get it from her, he's going to go to one of his teachers, and he'll get it there.
God damn you, Jack!
And you'd be outlawing all the escorts who specialize in lactation.
No, as long as it's not your mom. Suck whatever milk you want out of someone's titty. This is your mom.
So they're gonna form a network of trading boobies around.
That's fine. I don't
like. Oh, here's my kid. Your kid. It's like wet nursing, but in a cult.
Look, see, that's the thing, Monkey. Is you're looking at it as no, as long as it's not your mom, I don't care. Well, that's the thing is that some conservative politician is going to see this potential law come across his desk. He's going to go, well, nobody above the age of X needs to be breastfeeding, so we're just going to outlaw everybody breastfeeding over this age.
How about you can't breastfeed a child or you can't breastfeed somebody from like 2 to 18?
And there goes your lactation fetishes on Pornhub and stuff, because now they'll make all of that illegal as well. So
you don't have to make it illegal.
Nope. That's what they're going to do because they always take it too far.
I feel like this is a case where I'm okay with outlawing it because would anybody be? What about cleaning his ass, giving him a bath? I mean, this is your child sucking your boobie when he doesn't need to. That to me is incest. And incest is illegal. So Prospero says no more laws. This is creepy.
Honey, there's a lot of things on the internet I find creepy that that are definitely not illegal, but like furries. Furries are definitely creepy to a lot of people,
and if furries were feeding their milk to their 5-year-old, I'd have a problem with it, especially from the source. That's weird.
That sentence was weird.
Would you say that it offends you, Monkey?
I would say that I think at some point we do have to say that you can't have sexual contact with your parents. And at some point, it's no longer breastfeeding.
They just rationalize it as this isn't sexual. This is me feeding my child.
And I'm saying at some point, it's not feeding your child anymore. It's a fetish.
Well, I think that there has to be some public shaming involved,
Which is why I said, we should just handle it societally instead of saying, oh, we're going to make this illegal. We're going to go.
But then you're saying, okay, then it's still okay to do behind a closed door. I mean, to me, this is
no different. But they're gonna, how many people?
It's molestation.
How many people do illegal things behind closed doors anyway?
Prospero says, "I'm pearl clutching. You sound like a church lady." We're talking about molesting your child here. That's what this is. This is using your child for sexual gratification. She's not feeding that baby because it needs food.
Right, let's get off the child molestation for a second. Look at this awesome sprite sheet I got. All
right, look at that. I'm going to step away for just a minute, guys.
I love you so much.
Jack's in charge.
Jack's in charge.
Oh, why does Jack get to be in charge? That's not fair.
Responsible.
Hello, of the 4 of us here, I'm probably the most responsible.
That is not the point, is it?
You know what game this is from?
What?
Call of Duty?
No shit.
Yeah. I don't know why, but like I'm okay with it.
It's probably one of the old ones where it took place in World War II.
Oh, good. Yeah, good call. Yeah. Right.
Might be World at War or something.
Why isn't there a Call of Duty where your SAS TAC team's fighting the IRA?
I don't know. Maybe they're worried that somebody would mod potatoes in there, and the IRA would just be throwing potatoes at the British.
No, come on, chat. You wouldn't want to do street battles with the IRA? You play either side, whatever the fuck, right? That'd be awesome. It'd be tactical as fuck. I mean, SAS, are you fucking kidding me? It'd have a nice 1980s, 1970s theme to it.
The same reason nobody puts ISIS in video games.
Yeah.
it's a little too fresh.
I don't think that, well, maybe for the UK, yes, but I don't think that anyone's ever had much of a problem beating up on the Irish. They're like a perennial target. It's okay. They're white,
Wow. I didn't realize we were going to get some Irish phobia in here.
Well,
Monkey steps away for a minute and Polly's all dunking on the Irish.
I'm just saying, like, what if you want to do modern warfare that's actually in a street where there's actual military style engagement between two forces? What are your other options? Mogadishu? Talk about too recent.
No, I said it in Texas, and it'd be illegals versus patriots.
Wow.
What, you asked? Just saying.
Yikes.
Chad Gunsky bringing up the rooftop Koreans shooting looters.
Yeah, you could have the 92 riots.
There was no real
places, people, and we're gonna all get.
But that's not actual engagement. That would just be like a first-person shooter. That would be like a 10-minute game. You'd just be a Korean shooting at looters. What would be the game?
It's like a sandbox game where you like tower assault. You try and hold land, and you you try and get into the store to loot, and the Koreans are your opposition, and the Koreans could build barricades and stuff.
The Kevin Dugan, thank you very much for the $4.99. Soph has proven that the children need to monitor the boomers. And I'm sure Monkey will respond in a second, but Miles Kinslow for $5, thank you on Monkey's behalf. Hey, Monkey, did you hear about that some parents are using their dead son's sperm to create a child? Is that right? Is that right? They don't have the son's consent. Wow.
I would say that's pretty gross.
That's fucked in so many different ways.
Yeah.
Like, there's got to be something already. Okay. I don't know, man.
That's people that need to come to terms with the death of their kid. That's what that is.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, what was the logic? Like, we have no other children. This is the end of our respective bloodlines. We can't. I'm just trying to make sense of that because that's pretty extreme.
No, that's people that have a problem letting go.
Yeah.
Like,
so like, I mean, you get kind of like creepy vibes when you hear about people cloning their pet who has died. Like, this is a whole new nightmarish level.
No, it'll be their kids before too long. Like, kid dies, you take some DNA strands from the kid or have them already pre-preserved and just start over.
That's what's going to happen to all of us anyway. Eventually, if we're going to be able to just, if we have enough money, you can get a clone of yourself. So if something happens, oops, I'll just insert my brain into this body and I only lose a couple of months of memories because I updated, 2 months ago.
Greg Rogers says that Polly, I think they only sent the Paras into Northern Ireland, not the SS. That's actually a good point. I don't know. I'd be interested to know one way or another. That's something I'd like to know a lot more about, but they don't do a lot of documentaries on it. They just kind of talk about how, Sinn Féin did this and this bombing happened, this other horrible thing moving on in other news. Like, there's not a lot of detailed analytic focus on sort of the engagements, Yeah, that story just shut everyone up, right? That's some wild shit.
Yep, that shut me up pretty hardcore.
Yeah, it's just one of those things.
No. I can't dismiss it that easily. That's just one of them things people do. No. This is wrong, damn it.
There's a lot of weird stuff that goes on in the world, and you can't shame everyone for everything. There's not enough finger wagging time.
On relative levels of creepiness, that breastfeeding a 7-year-old just dropped way down the list, huh?
Oh, fuck. What did I miss?
Oh, Monkey. A couple of super chats, and the second one was spicy.
Oh. Let me scroll back up here. Thank you, Kevin, and thank you, Miles. The first one, did you guys read them both?
I did, yeah. But you should read that second one, bro.
Oh, dear Lord.
That's a good idea. Call of Duty Portland.
Yeah, good call. Good call. P-Dog Knight. I'd like to see that.
I have questions. They didn't use the sperm to make a baby in mama there, did they?
We don't know, and I would prefer not to find out.
It's not.
No, it would have to be like the departed's wife, no? Or a surrogate mother. I mean, they didn't. No, Monkey. Jesus, no.
Well, we don't know. I mean, would you ask people that are doing this to begin with?
Let's see.
I don't.
Months after U.S. Military Academy cadet Peter Zhu died of injuries suffered in a skiing accident and lost what his parents said was his dream to have children of his own. Excuse me. A judge ruled that the parents may use his frozen sperm to create a child. New York Supreme Court Justice John something ruled last week that Zhu's parents, Yong Min and Monica Zhu, may decide what to do with their son's sperm, including whether to use it for procreative purposes. The parents filed a motion in March to retrieve their only son's sperm before he was removed from life. Oh, God. Oh.
There's a nurse that had to do that, right?
Oh, man. At this time, the court will place no restrictions on the use which Peter's parents may ultimately put their son's sperm, including its potential for creative purposes, the judge wrote in his ruling.
So he got one last hand where they pulled the plug. That's fucked up.
I hope the nurse was hot.
Wait.
Yeah, they got it on.
Wasn't it something that he already had on ice or something?
No. He was
on tap.
he was in a vegetative state and somebody jerked him off.
No. What? They syringed it out of his testicles, don't you think?
No.
That's not how that works.
Sure it is. Why couldn't it work that way?
Because you want it to, and that's not how the world works.
I didn't even think about jerking off. Come on.
I don't have words.
You guys talk for a second. I'm trying to read the rest of this and see. I'm hoping they have a woman lined up and it's not mom.
Yeah, it just gets weirder and grosser with each second.
Prosperous use eugenics. This is law-approved eugenics. It's the son. It's the son was of majority. That is illegal. Yeah.
Oh, Lord Famine said electrical stimulation can cause ejaculation.
That's
so
true.
they got out the old shock machine from the mental ward.
No.
And like spraying rope all over the walls.
Nice. Him up to a milker.
They dusted the old girl off from the 1930s electro treatment. And nice.
No, they still use those, so it's
they do. They're actually surprisingly useful to break people out of severely catatonic states and
bad habits like jerking off when they're
these are for foregone people where drug treatments don't work and it's low voltage. God damn it, Jack.
I hope he got a hand job instead. In my mind, he got a hand job.
Let's go with that.
Jerking off the comatose is not a good option, Monkey.
They may have just left it to the discretion of the nurse. Like, well, you can prostate stimulate him, get the shock machine, or give him a handy.
You know what? At this point, I'm going to go with Polly's answer. Let's just say syringe, and
I hope there's some of her DNA in that sample. That's what I'm saying.
Does the insurance cover this? James Colley makes a good point.
I'm not sure.
Like, are handies covered by Blue Cross?
Okay, this one says they want to preserve his sperm, but what's next? Yes. Well, what do they want to do with it? Can
you imagine being the dude in the next bed over? Like, I wonder what they're doing. Squish, squish, squish.
and Sinatra was wondering how I turned into Polydad. Gee, I wonder. Squish, 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 electroshock to the dead guy.
Is this one of those subjects where we've crossed the line?
You're getting close to the ledge, and I'm trying to, come on, guys. There's so much to live for. Don't do it.
Cheryl's trying to tell us to use a syringe. I have no evidence of that, and I'm not looking it up, so it didn't happen.
I love how it didn't even occur to you guys that it was testicle direct, that you went right to the jerking the comatose.
I think we did.
Stunlock Joe makes a really good point, though, that backs up our statements. Japan has nurses that jerk patients off, usually mentally challenged. Not so much the comatose. But there are documentary films of Japanese nurses giving handies.
This is also the same country where they had to pass a law to discourage mothers from offering hand jobs to their young sons for doing well in school.
Hold on. The citation needed.
No, seriously. Japan had to do that. They're like, look, you can't give your teenage son a hand job for getting A's on his report card. You just can't do it. No wonder
Asians are so good at school.
Because you know what?
I bet they would be with me on the Back to the Future thing.
2 bombs wasn't enough is supposed to be a meme, guys.
Rotten Corpse says the nurse could have rode him.
Yeah, this one's blowjob, reverse cowgirl. I don't care as long as some of her DNA ended up in the sample. That's all I'm saying.
Cigar Chomping Penguin said porn flicks are not documentaries, Jack. You have no evidence of that. As far as I know, that is exactly what happens in Japan. My documentary collection is very extensive on Japanese
Shocking
culture.
Asia is not a documentary, Jack.
No, but penetrations is a real documentary that I own. But don't
even know what
start
that
with
means.
your facts, people.
I'm with you, Jack. Man, we fucked these people up.
Fuck me. Oh my god.
I love that there's a case in California where a judge had to decide it's okay to take a brain dead guy's sperm for his parents.
Well, time was of the essence too, so it had to be done quickly.
I'm still nothing says what they're gonna do with it. And see this one. Yeah, all the other. Apparently, this has happened before, and it's all in all of those cases. It says so they could use a surrogate. None of these say. So, I'm thinking mom's getting knocked up. They made a sperm sickle and they slid it right up mom.
I choose not to believe you.
And they're gonna have a Downsy kid because she has Downsy eggs.
I hate you so
What?
much right now.
Okay, would that be wrong for a mom to be a surrogate?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Why?
in every way possible.
I don't understand why.
All right, kids. Somebody find something for Monkey to read because we're going back to Downsy eggs again.
Just picture Sloth from the Goonies.
Right? Good example.
But what about the royal family? They're all inbred.
Yeah, and look at them. They look like they're inbred.
Is that
They don't look like that because they're inbred. They look like that because they're German. It's
and she's got Downsy eggs anyway. You wouldn't know which one caused it. That's a biological issue. Incest. It's not incest. He didn't bang his mom.
Well, we don't know. What if she did?
That's true.
She's like, I'll get it for you.
He might have got really good grades in school.
Chad is really upset with you right now, Monkey.
Why? I don't understand.
why?
Look, the story doesn't say, and like I said, there was one of the stories I just read. They even talk about 2 other cases where they specifically say so the son's sperm could be, or so they could find a surrogate. They do not say that for this one. They don't.
Have you guys seen the movie Surrogates?
No. Why are you trying to change the subject, Polly?
Because
the one
because I mean I think it's self-explanatory why I'm trying to change the subject. It was actually a pretty good movie, Surrogates. It was
the Bruce Willis.
Yeah,
that was good.
It was based upon a great graphic novel. It was good stuff.
Indeed, Elephant. If they had somebody else's egg and the sperm together and they put it in mom, that wouldn't be a problem, right?
If they had a different egg, but that
Right.
was not what you were implying up to this point.
No, that's what Elephant brought up. That's why I said what Elephant
It's
said.
still weird because her DNA is involved, and
Evolved Potato, thank you so much.
Mm.
Don't listen to Eve, Polly, or chat. Keep going, Monkey. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, that is like okay. Keep going, Monkey. Do you remember when Andy
All right.
Worski was IRL streaming and his chat kept egging him on? It wasn't in Andy's best interest to keep going.
I feel like we've crossed so many lines around here.
What? Really?
This is a show for educational purposes,
oh my god,
and this is educational.
Monkey.
That's a generous word.
Do you think she was like, man, I should have saved it for that time he got an A?
Oh my god, I should have never brought it up.
That's weird to me, man.
It is really fucking weird. Well, this is the same country that has used panties in a vending machine. I mean,
They got rid of those.
But yeah, Farr was not able to confirm that, and she was there and she looked. And so, yeah. don't think that the used panty vending machines are a real thing.
BG said,
Look, you ran Prospero off.
this show has lines since when? I don't have lines. I have my opinions. And sometimes they go to weird places. Everybody, it's time to stop. I have stopped. I'm not even talking about it anymore. You guys saying it's time to stop makes me want to say I'm not talking about the sperm going in mom anymore.
Good night, Prospero. Dress well. Why don't you go watch my Evil Within live stream to clear your brain of this shit?
Go watch
me
Back to the Future.
Watch me kill some
Monkey.
zombies.
What?
Don't bring
What I
that
did?
shit back up again.
You guys want to talk about Carl Tanzer?
Who's Carl Tanzer?
He was a doctor in the 1920s, I think it was.
Mhm.
And this lady came in with tuberculosis and he was going to treat her. And then she ended up dying, but he fell in love with her and he couldn't let her go.
Oh, what'd he do?
I don't
So
like
he dug her up and took her home and made sweet, sweet love to her because they were married in his mind.
That's creepy as fuck, man.
Yeah, here's a YouTube video about it. Ebony knew who I was talking about. Yeah, he was a weirdo. He kept her for several years, even got caught once with the body, and they reburied her, and he went and dug her up again.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and he had her for years, and he was replacing parts as they decayed. Yeah, and he had to make a fake vagina for her.
Oh my
he
God.
continued to make love to her.
Oh, shit.
Martin says this sounds like a serial killer. That sounds like somebody deeply in love.
Yeah, it was serial
All right.
killer-esque, but she died naturally. Of
Monkey's in
TB.
shitlord mode. Please find something entertaining.
Look, no, I'm not. See, I want to point out for the record, I ain't bring up none of this crazy shit.
That sounds like someone in love. Yeah, fuck you.
What?
You
No,
don't
it
believe
does.
that shit.
He couldn't let go. Now, look, he didn't have to bang her. That part's the creepy part. But if he just dug her up so he could still be close to her, that's still kind of sweet. I mean, it's gross.
Speaking from the perspective who has an obsessive personality, there's a difference between being in love with someone and being obsessed with them. There's a big difference.
Is there?
Yes, because love has limitations and rules to it.
God, you sound like the judge.
Oh, shit.
No, seriously. Like being real serious, there is a big difference between being obsessed with someone and being in love with them. That's obsession.
Did you say they were or were not together, Jack?
They weren't.
Well, they were in his mind. So it depends on your definition. Like, it sounds like there may have been something between them, but it kind of a lot of it's from his perspective at the trial. But he didn't really get in any massive trouble for any of this because I think they got him on grave robbing once. And yeah, it's a tragic love story. It'll be a Disney movie before you know it.
Yeah, why not?
The latest undead princess.
You'd be surprised desecrating a corpse is not actually a very severe charge.
No,
Like,
in Florida, it's not illegal to have sex with anyone that's been dead until like 1997.
Evil One says, what if there was spit in the sample? I'm not allowed to talk about that anymore. Idolizing is something, but that's just true love. Look, I'm not saying that it wasn't obsessive, but I mean, when you're in love like that and it's like, I can't live without her. I mean, I can. I'm not saying I would do it, but I understand.
Did you say this guy was a doctor?
Yeah.
That's how he was able to get the parts back together.
Hold on, I'll give you his Wikipedia link.
No, that's fine.
I have it saved.
No, it's okay.
I have it
I want
saved.
it. I want it.
This motherfucker right here.
I like weird things. I do.
Hey guys, I have a better idea. Why don't you guys send Monkey money, send him some super chats, okay? And think of sexy things for me to say. So I can lean into the microphone and do this. That way Monkey gets paid the way he likes, and you guys get sexy voice.
Wait, why is my phone going off? Oh.
I don't know. It's not for me, is it?
No. It's Bear. I asked him if he wanted to come on.
If it's for me, I'm not here.
Something says no, stop it, Eve. Plug your ears, sweetie. You're too young for this.
Dunlock said he thought they may have made a movie similar to that with this dude in mind. Probably. It's a famous case in Florida. And
been other cases that are similar to it where instead of the grave robbing part, they just like keep the body after they've died?
Yeah, but it's usually like this guy took it to a whole different level.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah, he's been featured in a lot of different documentaries on.
I've seen him before.
Yeah,
okay.
He pops up every now and then on YouTube, and he's been on different, like featured on different TV shows.
I've seen that corpse before too. Yeah, I must have watched this in some.
I probably linked it once before in the chat or something.
I remember a documentary about this guy.
I like to share.
There's a lot of weird people out there, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of them are on Twitter these days. Send sexy pics for 20.
Then for for people super chatting you $20, I was going to say in that case I better be getting the $20. I'm sending sexy pictures.
Bear, my friend, how are you, sir?
Hello. Hold on a sec.
Monkey, you are one of the weird. I'm curious. I'm not weird. I'm probably one of the most straight-laced people you know. I'm just very curious about things and have a very twisted sense of humor.
Bear, please tell me you come with something.
Let me put my headphones in. Hold on. Hello.
Please, dear God, tell me you came with something to talk about, because
real quick,
get Monkey off of this.
Before you start, Stunlock, thank you so much. He says, "Don't think about your son as you use his sperm."
Do you see where we're at? Do you see what the conversation is right now?
But I like debauchery and degeneracy.
Oh, God.
Real quick, hang on. That is very well played, Stunlock. Because that is a take on the don't think of your mom while you're masturbating. Bear, have you heard of Japanese kids getting masturbated by their mom for getting good grades?
I've not heard of that. And you think that if that was the case, I would have heard of that by now. But incest in terms of anime is fairly popular.
I feel like you shouldn't jack off your kids.
No, I also feel like you shouldn't whack off your kids.
But I feel like that. I mean, that's got to have something to do with why Asians are so good at school.
Well,
what's this? Jack is sending me an article.
Angel hand jobs.
It's an old one.
Taiwan. Hello, elephant in the room. I've not seen you in fucking ages. Where have you been, man?
Oh my God.
How are you?
Yeah, hi, Elvin. Yeah, you're right. I haven't seen him for a while.
Yeah, I know it's mostly sibling related in anime, but it wouldn't surprise me.
This is from February 4th. Nice date. Getting real close to Valentine's Day there of 2015. I think that says maybe 16.
Yeah, 15.
These volunteers give hand jobs to the severely disabled.
Well, it's an important job, you know. The severely disabled deserve hand jobs too.
Andy is a muscular dystrophy patient who lives with his parents in southern Taiwan. Due to his severe physical disability, he was homeschooled and couldn't leave his house alone, so he never really had the opportunity to develop either an active social life or romantic relationship. When the Taiwanese NGO Hand Angel, an organization promoting the sexual rights of disabled people, first spoke to Andy, they realized the situation meant he'd also never been able to have a frank conversation with anyone about his sexuality. And as a young gay man who didn't want to speak to his parents about his feelings, this wasn't exactly the healthiest situation to be in. Yeah, that's the problem. So over the course of a few months, representatives from the NGO counseled Andy online, helping him to understand his own sexuality and place in the world. Next, they smuggled him out of his house and took him to a motel room for a hand job.
That's prostitution. That's not medical providing.
Did you ever hear Jim Jeffries' story about taking his friend to a brothel?
No.
It's a good story.
Jesus Christ. Volunteers, the group of 10 people actually giving the hand jobs.
Can you imagine writing it on your resume with I'm going to apply for a job? Oh, you volunteer, do you? What do you volunteer doing?
I'm a penile masseuse.
I'm a hand angel.
I'm a hand angel. They come from varied backgrounds. Some are gay, some are straight, some are disabled, some are PhD students, some are social campaigners, and some work in the media. It's made very clear that these volunteers only use their hand for second base kind of stuff. That hugging, caressing, kissing on the face are all fine, but anything penetrative, fingering, oral sex, vaginal sex, and anal sex is not. Well, there you go.
Hold on.
Yeah.
A hand job is considered second base?
In Taiwan. They're weird over there, man.
Like I was maybe I've been misunderstanding for years. Okay, first base is kissing, second base is getting a feel up on some titty, third base is getting a hand job, home base is right up the ass.
Oh, son,
Well,
that's
wait, if you're either gay or if you're the girl trying to get to the guy, what's second base then?
For if you're who?
If you're the girl feeling up the guy, what is
rubbing
second
his
base
crotch.
then?
I don't know. If she
If
wants
it's
to
a
call
big
me
interior,
boobs,
probably,
I'll let her.
It's mostly above the clothes stuff. I mean, you might be able to go under a shirt, but still not under a bra.
I love how you invite me as soon as you start talking about this thing.
No, we'd actually started talking about this weird shit a little while ago.
About it for a minute.
I like weird shit, as you know. So
everybody was yelling at me because I was fascinated by a story, Bear. First, I got to show you guys this because we did talk about Brave earlier.
Oh my god!
Thank you, Jordan.
I assume that's making fun of the fact that Disney have put a black girl as Ariel, and you're just inserting black guys into Disney female characters now.
Not Disney female characters, specifically Disney
Brave.
Female redheaded characters.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
You're wiping out all the redheads.
Not even just Disney. Marvel's doing it. DC's doing it. There's a bunch of established redheaded characters that are being replaced with black females.
Well, don't forget, the black community. I mean, all of them. It's obviously all of them. They need this because it's the only way that they can enjoy a show by relating to those characters. It's like they need to see people that look like them.
Yeah, guess how many redheads there are in the world.
It's just more soft bigotry of low expectations, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
Hello.
Is it wrong?
Yes, but it's okay.
Okay.
Ow.
Your 21-year-old son gets into an accident and he's basically brain dead, but he's on life support, right?
Right.
Is it wrong to take his sperm and impregnate his mom with it?
Yes. Fucking yes.
Why?
I mean, I'm a snaggy bastard, but even I wouldn't go that far. Jesus Christ.
Is it okay to take his sperm and impregnate someone else?
I would also say no to that.
American court said that's okay. They actually said, I don't know. They actually said there's no limit on what the parents can do with it.
But the thing is, if you stick it in the mum, then that's like incestual, pregnancy. I mean, they didn't obviously have sex, but that baby could come out with like 20 fingers, and 18 toes, and
you got Downsy eggs.
Five penises and a vagina. If you're taking it and then impregnating another woman with it, I mean, there's an argument that could be made there. I guess a few arguments about passing on your genetic line and all that kind of stuff, but
the actual argument they used is that they're a Chinese. I think they were Chinese, somewhere where they have one of those oppressive laws where you could only have one child at a time, and so they only had the one son, and he, with him dying, their lineage dies off. So the courts let them somehow medically milk this guy and save his sperm.
See, it'd be more understandable if, like, your son, like, who was 21, already had a partner and they were married, and the partner wanted to extract the sperm so that she could get pregnant. Like, there's an argument for that, but for parents to do it, no.
Yeah, it's a weird story. My brain is broken because of it. Go ahead, Jack. I'm sorry.
There's an important thing we have to ask. If there's a surrogate involved and she doesn't want to be associated with the parents anymore, who pays the child support?
Oh, that's a good question. Nobody, because he's dead.
Well, they're the
head
ones that
hurts.
impregnated her.
Wait, your nan is 100, Bear?
Yeah, but I put it on Twitter, mate. My nan's 100 today.
I haven't really been watching
Happy
Twitter.
birthday to her.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
kidding.
happy birthday.
Yeah, I sent her a gigantic card from Moonpig. I live very far away from my nan, so unfortunately I couldn't see her, and my mum didn't want me to see her either, because, well, as you can imagine, she's been dealing with dementia now for 20 years, and is just pretty much just a shell. Can barely open her eyes, that kind of thing. But she should. I hope she does manage to open her eyes today. Not to see the card and flowers that I got her, but to see the telegram from Her Majesty that she would have received today.
Oh, do you guys do that over there? That's cool.
Yeah, you have to apply for it. My uncle applied for it 5 weeks ago, and he should be taking the telegram to her today. And I hope that she's able to muster enough energy to open her eyes and at least take a look at it.
I saw in Peppa Pig that the Queen also does that for the hardest working person in Britain.
She does issue awards for things. I don't think she's ever done that though. She gives out OBEs and MBEs. So
everything I know about Britain came from Peppa Pig.
Of course, it's Monkey's education is Peppa Pig.
I feel like
you got to move up to looking at documentary shows like Little Britain.
It's not a documentary. Have you also seen Come Fly With Me, Jack?
Yes.
You have.
Good night, Heaven.
What was the one with the funny doctor that was in love with his secretary? That show was hilarious.
I'm just gonna let y'all know if anybody needs to drop out at any time, feel free to. I'm gonna be going for a while. I hurt, so there's no fucking way I'm laying down.
I got shit to do today.
So I understand if anybody has to drop, because how long have we been going? We got to be at like 3 hours easy. Oh, Doc just came in and says still going. I see, right? I know.
Well, I don't want to end it there. Yeah, but Monkey, my nan is 100 years old today. She's been through it, dude. She's been through it. I tell you. She lived through the Blitz. Had a few kids herself. I mean, the fact that she's still alive and she's been dealing with dementia for 20 years is fucking crazy.
Yeah, she's a soldier, man. Holy fuck.
Yeah, hard woman. Very hard woman.
I was gonna say, I hope she had a few kids. Where'd you come from then?
Well, no, my nan adopted my mother.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So she would have been.
My nan is white as fuck. My mum is black. when my mum was a baby and my nan used to push her around town, I've just bearing in mind my mum was the first black woman where I grew up. People used to obviously stare. You know, this is way back in the 50s, you know. And my nan would go, yes, it happened. And my mum used to say to my nan, Mum, why am I brown? Is that when you were younger, we put you in the oven and for a bit too long?
No.
Yeah. No, you should have gone with the Greeks and been like, look, Apollo's chariot came too close to the earth, got a little burned, and moved on.
Yeah, I was not a fan of my nan when I was a very young kid. She was very much a battle axe of a woman. Always fucking having a go at me for things. Get your elbows off the table. Blow your nose instead of sniffing. But
well, she grew up in a hard time, man.
Oh yeah, of course she did. Yeah, she was. Despite the area that she lived in and the area that I grew up in, she was not well to do, but acted as if she was. And very much had sensibilities about herself. So it's yeah, I'm very happy she's made it to 100, and I hope she does get to see that telegram. But I as I kind of got a little bit older, I loved her very much, and yeah,
that's cool, man. That is congratulations to her, man.
It's awesome. It's awesome stuff.
I'm just thinking about the date. So she would have been like, what, in her 20s or so when the Germans were bombing the fuck out of you guys?
So she's born in 1919, July 1919. So
what are 20 years? Yeah.
Yeah, she would have been in her 20s. Yeah.
Fuck, man.
The area that I actually grew up in got bombed the shit out of, but by the Germans as well. So Yeah.
I just imagine her with the stories you told her so far going out and giving the finger to the planes as they flew over. Like, fuck y'all.
Yeah, I imagine she was probably one of those ladies who was working in the gun factories and stuff back then.
Well, with her, excuse me, with her having dementia for the last 20 years, have you or did you ever want to like have a conversation about how she grew up?
When I was a younger lad, I never kind of dug into her memory like that. It kind of never occurred to me to kind of get those stories out of her.
Hindsight, my friend, hindsight.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. But she's had dementia a very fucking long time. And I have spoken to her while she's had dementia. And as you can imagine, it's become progressively worse. The last time I saw her, which was, I actually think may have been 10 years ago. Fuck. But yeah, even then she was, you couldn't have a proper conversation with her then. So.
Gotcha. Yeah, one of the greatest regrets of my life, and I don't have very many. My wife's grandfather was in the 101st on D-Day, and he died before I ever got a chance. I was actually talking with my wife about it later, and she goes, "Yeah, my grandpa was in there." I'm like, "How did I not know that?" She goes, "Why would you care?" I'm like, "It's World War II. That's the 101st. Are you kidding? Do you know what these guys were?"
Yeah. It's the 101st that went into behind enemy lines on D-Day, wasn't it?
Yeah. The ones got shot the fuck coming down. Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy stuff, man. Yeah, I suppose it's one of my regrets, never kind of having those conversations with my nan. Never got to meet my grandfather. He died, I think maybe before I was born. And my uncle Peter, and like that's like he died as well. And that's a big deal because my mum, obviously being a black woman in 1950s England, 1960s England, and being the only one in town, experienced a fair amount of racism, as you can imagine, like genuine racism.
Right.
And my mum's siblings and my actual nan herself were not particularly pleasant towards her. But my uncle Peter was my mum's best friend, you see. And he didn't have an ounce of hatred or bigotry in his heart. Not even ignorant bigotry, you know? And I wish I could have met him as well, but he died. He died a very, very, very long time ago.
Young people out there, talk to old people. They've been through some shit. Even at this age, man, talk to your boomers. They know stuff. And it might not look, it might not be as impressive as, you know, the 101st, man. Never got to talk to him. Well, I talked to him, but never about that.
Yeah. Old people have good stories.
They do.
That's why I loved. That's one of the good aspects of when I was a carer, getting to speak to these people about their lives and stuff, and how different shit used to be.
Yeah,
super interesting.
I keep saying I need to have another nostalgia stream. Those are just fun to do, where we talk about shit kids today will never know.
Yeah, kids today will never know the struggle of the Nokia 3210. You couldn't go on the internet on that fucking thing. I mean, you could use it as a weapon.
Speaking of old, did you see they're going to release a keyboard with built-in Commodore 64 games in it?
I have heard about that. Yeah,
I saw a picture of it. I'm like, one, don't buy that stuff, guys. Seriously, don't buy that. It will ruin your memories. It really will, because games have come so far since then. Bear, have you been watching my Sims playthrough?
I popped in yesterday. I popped in into the chat.
I've been having so much fun with that, and it was completely on accident. One day, I was like, let's play The Sims. I fucking love that game. I think I'm going to talk.
You inspired me to go and buy it, but I still haven't played it yet. And I installed a few games yesterday, but I still haven't played any of them.
You get back into gaming, son.
I do. It really helps out the top box, you know.
It does. It gives you something else to think about.
I got carried away massively yesterday, mate. I was like, right, okay, I'm going to force myself to get back into it. And I was like, right, I'm going to have to set up stuff for Irate Alex. And then I kind of went on this massive tangent about having background music. And I spent fucking ages, because you know how no copyright sounds is.
Right.
Like, I was downloading the music and obviously having to put that into, like, you know, Sony Vegas to render it all together, but getting all of these the sources to credit them, because you have to credit them if you want to put the music in your streams and stuff.
Right.
It took fucking ages. And then I did a test stream, and it was simulcast to Irate Alex, YouTube, and D Live. And the lag.
Okay, hang on. One, Evil One says, my grandfather was captured in Flores, France after D-Day and spent a year as a prisoner of war. He was a mean fucker. I imagine. Survived that shit. And Martin says, I hate The Sims, so boring. I watch Onision's boring videos instead. That is hurtful, sir. That is hurtful.
That is
Martin.
rude. Monkey makes it entertaining because his dude goes around and fucks everybody. How many kids are you up to, Monkey?
13.
13 children.
And I think there's 2 more on the way.
And ain't one of these bitches put his ass on child support yet. I don't
Not
know
yet.
how that's it.
Nah, several of them have to go back to their husbands.
Yikes.
Broke up a marriage. The one dude actually moved out of town. He left his wife and moved out of town.
You know, I know this is going to sound super gay, but I used to have Desperate Housewives, the game.
Really?
And it's like The Sims in a way. And it does, like, whereas The Sims, you have to kind of put the effort in to start woohooing people.
Sure.
You could just go around and fuck everyone's husbands.
Oh, wow.
Just like that. Just.
Well, I feel like that would be a lot easier, actually. The Sims made it equal. Men and women are basically equal if you're trying to get attention, you know?
Mm-hmm.
In real life, I mean, come on. Except the fact that you can tell how used she is. I think women can get sex a lot easier than men. But real quick, I want to show this because I just saw this on Twitter. And the caption that came with it was for the giant cunt in your life.
Jesus.
Like it's a floating tampon. How did they not know what they were making? Come on.
What is it supposed to be? Like, what is it? Like
Is that friggin' Lilo?
It's a pull floaty.
A Lilo.
You lay on it in a Lilo. Is that what you guys call it?
Yeah.
I thought it was like a sleeping bag mattress that you like rolled up for camping or something.
No, that's to float in a pool.
That's funny as fuck.
I feel like it would suck up all the water. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning, where you don't know where this shit's gonna go. Don't forget, guys. I do these. I've been putting these up on what's it called? SoundCloud. Is that the one I'm using? Shit, I don't know. It's down below.
It is SoundCloud, yes.
So if you'd like to just listen to these later, you can download the podcast I put up over there and check it out. I took like a week off of doing it because I was lazy as fuck. But I did put yesterday's up, so check it out. I never get sex since Me Too is a thing. I'm lucky in that regard.
Oof.
Not getting sex and lucky don't seem to go together in my head. Because we even call it getting lucky.
Oh, shit.
Going to leave this, going to get the monkey views. I'm a Russian bot. Well, thank you, Peter.
Check Streamlabs.
Or Eric. Oh, who, me?
Yeah, you.
Why didn't my fucking thing go off?
Ding.
I'm sorry, guys. Thank you, Miles, who says, hey, Monkey, had a crazy thought. What if Jussie Smollett scandal was turned into a porn parody?
Oh, no.
It would probably be a gay porn parody. Any name suggestions? Ooh. A porn parody of Jussie Smollett. I'm going with the 12-incher.
A planned encounter.
Two guys, one fruit.
That wasn't Bleach.
I'd go with This Is Jackin' Country.
12-inch love. That's what I'm going with. Foot-long love. How about that? That's even better.
Or just smells like
Come into America.
2 Nigerians, 1 Subway.
or it only smells like bleach.
I just want to point out once again, I'm not the one that comes up with this crazy shit.
A dark evening in Chicago.
Oh, nice. It's just you guys say weird shit and I get hooked on it. It's not my fault. It's been 2 Butthole Girl. I didn't find her. Abby and Brittany. That was Bear's actually the one who introduced me to her. To them. Her. Is that a how do you
The only person in the world who can have they them pronouns.
That's right. They them yeah. And masturbation mom, that was Eve, and then vegetable jacking off, that was who brought that shit up? I got in trouble for it.
That was Jack.
I ain't bring that shit up.
I don't know. I commit so many offenses on this channel. You could probably just blame me, and it would be pretty good odds.
Evil says a real Nigerian princess. Frozen. Nice, James. Oh my god.
Empire.
Yes, that is luck. How is not having sex luck?
It depends. Is she dirty?
I mean, if you find out the next day she gave somebody else chlamydia or AIDS, I guess that was lucky.
Is it Diane Abbott?
You hate her.
It's not that I hate her. It's just that she's just a retard, and she should not be in the position that she's in.
What were you saying to, Polly?
Oh, you should ignore me when I do that. That's what people in Discord have to listen to. I'm photoshopping or Vegasing, and I just realized something. I solved a problem I've been having for days, Monkey, by accident. So it was like,
oh, cool.
Oh, hey, all the better. It still works.
I'm happy that worked out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man,
Diane Abbott cracks me up, man. Do you remember when Tildeer had a go at Sargon when Sargon announced that he was going to run as like an MEP, and Tildeer was like, these people are university educated. Even Nigel Farage went to university. And it's like, Sargon, you would be no good at this. You're too stupid. You're YouTube smart, but not politician smart. And I'm like, Diane Abbott exists, Tildeer.
Massive Dynamics is a rough night in Chicago. I like that one too.
No country for tight men.
Ooh.
Yeah, like he's tight.
Jesus, I haven't watched Teal Deer in probably since I made that video about him and everybody got mad.
He barely uploads these days anyway.
But I feel like you made him sound a lot more interesting than he is.
Absolutely. But
I
have a solution for the Teal Deer question. Why don't we get him and Cult of Dusty to argue with each other? Then they can amuse each other and both think they're way smarter than they are.
That could be awesome.
We'll call it the smoke off.
Yeah. I'm going to talk to you really slowly about boring shit.
Monkey.
Sorry.
That was at 4 speed.
Oh God. Now we get in trouble.
I remember watching his videos for there are people like that who have content like that on YouTube where you'll watch like 2-3 videos and it's like, oh, this might be interesting. I'm going to subscribe. And then you listen to a few more videos, like an equal amount of them. And you're like, the fuck was I thinking? And you unsubscribe. Like that's what happened with me with Teal Deer.
I'm sorry. One long video and it was like this encompassing darkness around me. And I felt like my consciousness was slipping away. And then I realized I was just falling asleep, but it was too late and like 4 hours went by.
To be quite, I never actually hated his content. It's how he speaks and how he presents it. You can watch him at 2x and it's like watching somebody else who just had a stroke. I mean, he talks so fucking slow.
It's not fair to compare him to Sinatra. Sinatra's a good
He's not here to defend it.
I actually, I've never really minded Tildeer.
I just hate
his voice kind of gets on my tits a little bit, but he's covered some interesting topics. Topics in the past, but it's when he decides to insert himself into drama with his fucking nuclear takes. I'm just like, you know what, mate? Shut up.
Right. No, I said, I haven't watched him in well over a year. So
I still make videos because I don't see or hear anything about him anymore.
I saw a video in my sub feed the other day. Of course, the other day in my memory, in terms of like my memory, it could be about a month, 3 weeks ago. Yeah.
Guys, don't forget, Ranting Monkey is brought to you by you. If you'd be so kind, hit that like button, share this if you are so inclined, and if you can, please support the channel financially, either through the $sign at the bottom or through the Streamlabs, which is preferable. You can also get yourself some nice shirts down there in the description. I'm not selling cereal yet, but I'm working on it.
Buy the shirts, people. Support the monkey.
Monkey, don't you also have a Patreon?
I have a Patreon. Yes, I do, which is also linked below. Also support the people on the dais with me. And now that I know that bothers you, Polly, I'm just going to keep saying it.
Why did you ever put that up?
Streamlabs. If you didn't mention Streamlabs, I don't care if you did mention Streamlabs. Streamlabs. And
Truck and Bear, thank you so much for the donation. And don't just support me, support these guys. They are awesome creators, all 4 of them. I enjoy their content, so check them out. And again, Truck and Bear, thank you so much for spending your money on me. You guys are amazing. I fucking love my audience. I really do. I seriously would love to have a monkey con.
Don't let them touch you though.
Why?
They're animals.
That's all right.
They've all got germs.
I would love to hug every one of them.
Oh, you're gonna get something, mate.
That's all right. I wash.
That's a hand sanitizer on you. It's like how you deal with con crud when you go to a con. Make sure you bring hand sanitizer
and deodorant, not for yourself.
Spray deodorant just so you can get them as they walk by.
Yeah.
There was
monkey condoms. That would be great.
There's one of those anime cons that recently introduced a hygiene policy and said that basically you have to wear deodorant. Like, thank you.
That's a lot of people to shove into a building, and body heat will warm it up. We had a excuse me, when we first moved into this house, we had our family reunion here. My dad had 6 brothers. So all of them showed up. Well, one didn't because he died early. So 5 of the brothers showed up. My dad, all of them have kids, so they all showed up. My house was like 900 fucking degrees.
Now picture that with 1,000 nerds that didn't shower for the previous 2 weeks.
No,
it's funny. There's a huge anime YouTuber called Giguk, and he has a video. It's like a guide to cons, and he's basically telling his audience because he knows what they're like. He's like, right, deodorant is not shower in a can.
That's so true. Dude, I went to a comic convention one time where this guy had to get up on the stage with the microphone and remind everyone to shower in the morning before the next day because it was so vile in there.
Massive Dynamics is con funk.
As they call it.
They have a con in Grand Rapids. Maybe I'll go this year. It'll kick my ass, but yeah, maybe I'll go down there. I've never been to a con.
I've been to 3.
They're great if you don't have a sense of smell.
Nice.
It's a Comic Con twice and an anime convention once. The anime convention was cringy. I mean, that's fun. It didn't stink. But the heat was getting there. And if I'd stayed any longer, yeah, I imagine. Because there were some bright creatures wandering around. You know, some hoofing people, shall we say. Some larger-than-life individuals. It cracked me up, man, because like a lot of them, they were like, you had the cosplayers and stuff that really, you can tell who put the effort in. And then there's these fat things wandering around that are just like wearing t-shirt and like 3/4 length jeans. And they've got the mask on from Tokyo Ghoul. And it's like, what was the point? What was the point in that exactly, mate? Lazy bastard.
Oh, the Comic-Con's in November.
That's good. You don't want to go to a summer one. Seriously,
well,
it gets odorific.
It's in early November, so the big question is, you know, if we have snow or not. Let's see the comic guest list. I don't know any of these people. Let's see, Jim Shooter.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Gail Simone.
Jack. Have you ever met him?
Jim Shooter? I saw him once. Gail Simone's a sea cow. Jim Shooter's an awesome guy, though. He's really cool. He made.
Oh man, Jim Shooter's a legend in comics, Monkey. Like especially Marvel. Like
if you liked Marvel up until like 1986, he did all of it. He was the editor in chief.
Well, there's the guest list.
Remember when I was complaining about like the editors are responsible? Shooter's the one that kept everybody on the straight and narrow. He's the one that would, you know, these are the stories we're doing. This is what we're not doing. You make sure your shit's in on time. What the fuck are you doing? Writing your own politics into the story. Go complain to your psychiatrist. Like, you know, That's
You remember the little footnotes they used to have as seen in issue whatever.
right.
He's the one that instituted that as a mandatory policy, and it slowly died off after they fired him.
Because that's work, and
Oh,
they've got tweets to send. You can't have them writing comics and editing stuff all day.
Ooh, gaming.
hey, Polly, Heather Antos will be there.
Joy of joys.
She doesn't deserve to share the same building with Jim Shooter.
They're going to have a game tournament. They're not. What games are they playing?
They always do that at conventions.
I could learn to play one of these games quickly. Oh man. Anyway, yeah, I really want to go to one, and I guess that one's in November. If it's nice, maybe we'll go. Huh.
Nice.
Guests. Oh, those are comic guests. Who else today? Oh, YouTube guests. They have YouTubers?
Mhm.
Oh, dude. Channel Awesome's going to be there, including the Nostalgia Critic.
Yeah.
He's the only one really worth meeting, I think.
No, what's his name? Brad Jones, the cinema snob. His content's fucking awesome. Always has been, and he was never one of the crazies there ever.
Got a few cosplay guests. They have 5 of them lined up right now.
If anyone's in LA, I think there's an anime convention going on right now, and Gigux there, and I think a couple other YouTubers are there as well. It'd be cool if you go meet him. There was no YouTubers at the anime convention I went to, and there's none in the next one either in August, which I'm not sure if I'm going to go to or not.
I'm going to get myself a shirt that says YouTube influencer and wear it.
Don't do it.
Why?
Just change it to YouTube creator.
No, I'm an influencer, man.
No, don't do it.
I'm going to get a press pass too, because I'm a journalist.
Good morning, that's
Nuts.
Right, you are.
Nuts, you must have slept in today.
And good morning to you, Nuts.
Am I going, Monkey? I want to. I really do. I just have to crowdfund the money to do so. Let's see.
Support the monkey at streamlabs.com/rantingmonkey.
3-day pass is $55. So I need 110, and then I need a hotel.
That's not really bad. That's not bad at all for a 3-day pass. Like,
no,
for a con, I mean, sometimes they're a con. Sorry for the pun, but yeah.
Did Stargazer get a new icon?
Yes, she did that for the 4th of July.
Oh, is it Betty Boop?
Betty Boop with a
nice
American flag.
Sweet.
Channel Awesome is basically dead. It imploded with Doug Walker and Brad Jones being the only ones left. Yeah, but I mean, who else are you going to get for a Comic-Con in Grand Rapids in November?
Baby. Come say hello to Monkey. Say hello to Monkey.
Say hello to Monkey.
Oh, I've got a package has arrived from Japan.
Is it used panties?
I don't need to buy those from Japan.
It's sperm from a dude in a coma.
Yeah. No, it's my model actually from ReZero. Ram has finally arrived. I thought it was going to take 8 weeks, but cool.
Man,
I certainly didn't get the thing I ordered from England very fast. Thanks, Warlord Games. Took 6 fucking weeks.
Bubble wrap.
He ordered a replacement part for one of his models that was broken.
Yeah, it was broken out of the box.
Oh, gotcha.
Does anyone like bubble wrap as much as I do? I don't know.
I love bubble wrap, man. I take it and I just twist it.
Yeah, that's what I do. Woman just took it off me.
Hi, woman.
Monkey says, "Hey, woman."
I said hi, Vanilla Bear, but you didn't tell her that, so.
No, I was busy bubble wrapping. Polly also says hello. And Chaos Eve says hello. Jack doesn't, though.
Well, I would say hello. She doesn't know who the fuck I am. She's like, I don't care about that asshole. And I'll be like,
she watches this show, dude.
Maybe she hates me. I don't know.
Jack just assumes every woman hates him.
It's let's be honest. It's a fair assessment.
What really comes down to is you don't really hate Shoe on Head. You just think Shoe's going to hate you, so you want to hate her first, right?
No, I don't like her. I think she's an annoying bully and a cunt.
Did you see that blowing up on the Twitter, Bear? Dusty Smith Dusty going after Shu.
Oh, Dusty's always going after somebody.
I know, right? And he doesn't even have a reason to. He's just doing it because it's not like she said something. He just doesn't like that other people like her.
That's because he's such a self-conscious little bitch. He can't accept the fact that he's not entertaining, and he never was. And now there's a bigger selection of people to choose from to view. And he's all like, "Yeah, I'm sad because I look like Gabby Hayes. I'm dumb."
But seriously though, I've just thought about this. How is Shu going to be able to like fight back and call it, Dusty, you're just pathetic. You have no relevancy anymore. You're just attacking big people, hoping to get noticed, and not realize that she's describing Greg precisely.
She's just laughing at him, is what she's doing.
Nobody cares about anti-theist content anymore.
They don't.
Quick,
Dusty.
Hang on, guys. Over on the Streamlabs, thank you, Bubba Hotep. There's a convention in October near me. Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi are going to be at.
Bruce Campbell's really nice.
By my name, I'm sure you can tell I'm excited. Yeah, that's cool, man.
I've actually heard that about Bruce Campbell, that like a chance to see him at a con, like a panel. He's really interactive and he's a fun guy, and he's totally worth checking out.
Yeah, he's real down to earth and likes talking to fans. And Sam Raimi's real approachable too. They're very nice people.
I'd like to meet Sam Raimi and slap him for ruining my childhood, but Tobey Maguire, really? Anyway,
the Tobey Maguire was a bad choice, but he did direct and do an incredible job of Quick and the Dead. Got to give him that.
Look, even with I'll even let him have the first two Spider-Man movies. Spider-Man? Did I really say
Spider-Man?
that? Spider-Man movies.
Quiz is infecting you.
Well, how else would it's Spider-Man movies, but it's kind of weird to say. Anyway, because for what they were in the time they were in, the first Spider-Man movie was revolutionary. That was a fucking awesome CGI fest. The story sucked, and Jesus Christ, Toby, really? But then three, man. And I know that wasn't his fault. I know that was some studio pressure to throw in Venom at the last fucking minute. But somebody needs to do it. Just take a spider glove and bitch slap him one time, and then it's over. Then we can hug and be friends.
It'll all end. It'll be over so fast you won't even know. That's
right, man. It's nothing. It's nothing. Take it like a man. Take your punishment, boy. Speaking of punishment, we talked about this a little bit earlier, but we didn't. I wanted to ask the question and we got off of it. But going back to ice cream liquor, I want a number from you guys. Everybody I see online right now is bitching that she could get up to 20 years. What do you think is a suitable?
I need to know the full story first.
You don't know this?
I've seen some things about it, but I'd not heard.
Okay,
the story.
The bitch went into a store and she taped all this, so we know she did it. Opened up a tub of ice cream, licked it, closed it back up, and put it back in the freezer.
Okay.
Now that is against the law. It's tampering with food.
She did this several times, though, didn't she?
Yeah, I believe at least twice. But they know for sure she did it the one time, and they got her dead to rights. Now all they got to do is identify her. But the punishment she faces is up to 20 years. She probably won't get that. But what is a acceptable range for that behavior?
She should now have to deal with 100-man bukkake. That should be her punishment.
Shit.
It looks like she probably has already done that.
Yeah. She'd be like, oh, this again?
Okay, 500-man bukkake. Men from Somalia, though. Close your mouth.
If you were the judge and we're throwing somebody in prison for that, what would you give them, Jack?
I'd say probably 2 years in a minimum security facility with 5 years probation, and the head of the company gets to take a pair of pliers and rip out that septum ring.
Fair enough.
I just hate those things.
Eve, what would you give her? It's hard to do that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not for Jack. Jack's a judge over there, man.
I would just say, I guess she should definitely go to jail, because it's not a thing you fuck with. You don't fuck with people's food. you can kill people that way,
Right.
really easily. And that's so. In the very least, you're looking at negligent behavior. And I'd say a kind of human endangerment of some kind. I don't know specifically, but she should spend at least a few years.
Bear?
I'd say probably closer to 5.
Okay.
I don't think that she should be given any kind of custodial sentence. I think it should be 300 days community service. She should be forced to go onto some courses to explain the dangers of her actions and teach her basic food safety hygiene. I forget the fucking Jack just said it as well. What is it when they probation period? Yeah, 1 year probation.
Polly.
I'm still shocked about the bukkake thing. No, I don't think that there should be any. You can do so. Like, okay, this is in Texas now.
Yes.
Oh, Texas law allows judges to get quite creative within limits to the sentencing. Yeah, I would sentence her to like, you have to work in food preparation for community service. So soup kitchens come to mind. That you have to serve X amount of hours over the next within a 2-year period, like, you know, whatever the fuck number, like 500 hours working in a soup kitchen. Like throwing her in a prison, like what's that going to demonstrate to somebody else? It's like you fucked with food and that's a bad thing. Okay, now you will serve food and in such a way that it's clean.
So you want her to spit in the food for the homeless?
Yes.
Licking the soup.
He doesn't like the homeless.
No,
Polly hates the homeless.
There's surplus population. They need to be.
they're not real
of.
people. They're not people.
I actually like P-Dog's answer. He said 3 years cleaning a dairy farm.
Oh.
Now, I would actually like stipulate, I would tack on a few years if she's got herpes.
God, she probably does.
That's fucking super gross.
I think I'm somewhere between Eve and Jack, 2 to 5 years. I still think she goes to prison for this. The reason we have these laws is the Tylenol thing. A woman tampered with Tylenol and killed a motherfucker. I don't know if you could actually kill somebody by licking ice cream. You know, depending on what nasty shit you have in there.
If she's been exposed to whooping cough and her saliva gets in the ice cream and it's given to a small child that doesn't have immunization, kid could die. And you don't even know if you've been exposed. I mean, there's a lot of diseases that can be transferred through saliva.
Yeah.
So mono, TB, you know, the list goes on. So it's an actual health hazard to be doing shit like this. That's why I'm saying you got to send a message that this is unacceptable in society.
Yeah, I think 2 years, like you said, minimum security, not actual maximum security prison. But I think she got that septum ring. You know, she's a dirty bitch, so her mouth has got to have germs, man. Yeah, she got germs we ain't never heard of. She's got Downsy eggs in there.
Yeah.
God damn it.
What? Don't hate. Don't hate.
You leave my people alone. Don't hate the Downsies. What are you, Iceland?
Oh, God.
I will ensure my people's existence. Ensure a future for my people. The 14 Downsy words.
14 Downsy words.
Is that the entire vocabulary?
Oh, ouch.
Yes.
Yikes.
And an extra chromosome.
A partridge in a pear tree. God.
We must secure the existence of our people and a future for Downs children.
That thing about Iceland, and that's really surprising that they're involved in eugenics on that level. It's a
regular Downsicide. Like genocide, but with
it kills me because it's like, oh yeah, left progressives, you're always pointing at the Nordic countries and Iceland and their wonderful healthcare systems. Did you know that they're committing? Oh, wait a minute, you'd be totally in favor of what they're doing. Fuck.
Yeah.
Like you get moral high hand on them, and then you realize, oh my God, you're crazy enough to love that.
A couple of people have said that they don't want her working with food, and I understand that. mentality. I like the idea of making that bitch clean up a farm. Because that would suck. You ever had to do any of that shit?
We should force her to wank disabled people off.
It's your job to wank off people in comas. Whew, man, what a day. What a day. You know, I haven't even looked at the fucking hashtag yet today, except for occasionally to look at beautiful women.
Wait a minute. What about the who was it? It was a social,
one thing.
It was a social media influencer that went and licked the cupcake and then put it back, wasn't it?
No, that was a singer. That's Izzy or Azalea, right? What was it?
Iggy Azalea did that?
No, Ariana Grande.
Grande, yeah, that's who it was.
Ariana Grande, that filthy bitch did that. Okay, why wasn't she facing 20 fucking years? Because she didn't do it in Texas?
Actually, isn't that? I think it's a federal law that bitch is facing.
Okay, what the fuck? How did Ariana Grande was once pale, now I'm darker than the fucking night? Grande get away with it?
Excellent question. I cannot answer.
Oh, everyone thought that was hilarious. Oh, I can't believe you did this. Oh, no. Muffin licking challenge.
There were a lot of people pissed off about that. She got a lot of flack for that.
Yeah, she's a celebrity. They don't get any trouble.
No shit. Fucking hell.
And I think in that case, didn't the people know? Weren't they watching her?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Found out right away. So,
you mean they sold that muffin off on eBay?
Probably. Evil One says she has money. Yeah, probably. Yeah. I don't know how she got away with it. Did she get any punishment for that?
I'm sure she lawyered her way out of it.
That's asinine.
Yeah. Assuming that she was even charged.
Well, she's a pretty little girl with a lot of money and celebrity, so of course she didn't get in any trouble.
What is this? Slutty teenage bounty hunters.
Cool. Jack, what movies are you sending Monkey?
James Collins says, as a member of the fat community, she should get 10 years in prison. She has to spend every day turning over rocks to prevent sunburn. Yikes.
Pretty funny.
Genji Cohen's Netflix comedy series casts its leads. Maddie Phillips and Angelica Fellini will play fraternal twins. Netflix comedy series Slutty Teenage Bounty Hunters has cast those two women I just said as their leads. The series is executive produced by Orange is the New Black creator Genji Cohen and Tara Herman. Where's... After joining forces with a veteran bounty hunter, 16-year-old fraternal twins Sterling Phillips and Blair Wesley dive into the world of bail-skipping baddies while still navigating the high stakes of teenage love and sex.
Fuck off. How bad does that sound? What the fuck?
Best anime ever.
Is that an anime?
No.
Sounds like it.
It does, but no, this is a real-life series.
It's still going to be better than Batwoman.
Probably. Oh, dear Christ. Why do you want to have teenagers fucking? Look, we know it happens, but why do you want to make that a plot point of your show?
Because oh,
sexy.
fuck, what's the word we were talking about? No, not sexy.
Edgy?
Sensational.
Inclusiveness. The teenagers need to know that there's people out there who fuck just like them.
Oh, plus they need to perform their oh, dear Christ. They need to perform their magic. This is a quote from the Genji chick. After spending the last 7 years in prison, we were ready to break free and have some serious fun. Kathleen provided a world where we're excited to jump into and shake our hips around.
Oh, yeah.
In a world.
You're talking about... I don't know how old these girls really are, but you're making them 16 in the fucking show, you fucking weirdo. Fuck is wrong?
Is this not a live action adaptation of an anime?
Yeah.
16's legal where I come from. Oh, that sounds so bad. It sounds so bad, doesn't it?
It does.
I'm not watching it. I promise.
Are they Asian?
If it's Asian, it's okay.
No, it's a couple of white girls.
Oh, no, I'm not interested.
They've outlawed hair discrimination in California.
What does that mean? For people that have dreads?
Natural. When is a hairstyle not just a hairstyle? when it's a pretext for discrimination.
Dun dun dun.
Let me guess, this is only going to apply to black women.
Well, it's
black
going to
people.
apply to everybody, but it's because of black women.
How? I don't get it. What?
Well, African Americans in particular find that their afros, cornrows, and dreadlocks are held against them at school and when applying for a job.
All right, whatever.
Would this also apply to Indian women, since that's what weave is mostly made out of, was Indian women's hair?
Employers in California are no longer allowed to reject job candidates because they dislike their curls, coils, kinks, or locks.
Okay,
After the governor...
They'll do it and just say it's something else.
Yeah. After the governor signed a first-of-its-kind bill outlawing hair discrimination.
That is
a new measure.
Like a machine shop where the hair could get caught on a machine.
Too bad.
That is obviously a virtue signaling piece of legislation to say that we did it, and all the news entertainers are printing the story to say, oh my God, isn't this awesome? Because why didn't you hire that person? How many times did the rejection list say because I hated their fucking hair? Even if that was the reason. You didn't ever write that down. So what the fuck is the point in that? How would you police that? What the fuck?
Exactly. It's like we always talk about how the laws against racism don't really do much anymore, because they're never going to say they didn't hire somebody because they were black. They're never going to say they didn't hire somebody because they're a woman. They're going to say, oh, well, they weren't qualified for the job.
Well, this chick... discrimination over her dreadlocks led Chastity Jones to fight a 10-year legal battle with an employer who fired her because she refused to get rid of the hairstyle. Quote, it had nothing to do with the job. It had everything to do with my hair. Jones sued in 2013 for discrimination and lost wages, but she was dismissed by the court. The NAACP filed a petition last year on her behalf to the Supreme Court, but they declined to take the case. So California made a law about it.
Great.
That's how you get back to the Supreme Court when somebody challenges, like, I don't want to hire her because she looks like that. And you know what? That goes for white girls with dreads too. I don't want anybody with dirty, nasty fucking hair in my store.
You don't understand. That law sends a clear message to employers that when you're going to fire someone for their hair, don't say that's the reason.
Yeah, right.
Just don't hire women. Well, think about it. You got your male employees run the risk of getting Me Too'd. They're going to sue you over their fucking hairstyle, and they're going to win. And then they're going to take all your shit.
Mr. Dax says, wonder if Chastity has 17 kids out of wedlock. No, you're thinking of Alex Simeon over on The Sims, where you can watch on my game channel, link below.
Does it say how many millions of dollars she was suing for?
It doesn't. It just said back wages. My Sims baby mamas get to pick the names for the Sims, and one of them named one of my children Chiquita.
You're Chiquita?
No.
Andre, mama mia, yeah. Oh.
The game picked the name Chiquita. Anyhow.
Can you eat it?
What's that?
Can you eat it?
Apparently. Hawaii man shows up in blackface to protest attempted murder conviction.
All right.
Authorities said Thursday that a Hawaii man is facing further punishment after showing up in blackface to be sentenced for attempted murder. The man said he did so because the court was treating him like a black man. So today I'm going to be a black man.
I don't think that's
Mark Char, 61 of, I don't know how to say that, OAHU. Anyway, was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole on Monday for second-degree attempted murder. Okay, the way you wrote that makes it sound like he's up for parole on Monday. For second-degree attempted murder plus 6 years to be served concurrently on the conviction of second and third-degree assault. The charges stemmed from a 2016 road rage attack. What else do they have with this? Yeah. Oh, here we go. Quote, in essence, treating me like a black man, he said. Today, the reason why I'm like this is because I prepared myself to play my part in your kangaroo court, treating me like a black man. So today I'm going to be a black man.
And tonight he's going to get beat up by all the black guys at the jail because they're going to be like, "You did what?"
Jesus Christ. Yeah. That's not a smart move, man. That is not a smart move. And this is a little Asian man. Good job, dummy. Oh, God. We're what, 4 hours? I think we're going to be wrapping up here soon. Guys, thank you for the stories, man. So we get some of the weirdest fucking stories in here. Oh, man. What? I don't understand what that is. Anyway, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming and hanging out. And for any of you who made it the whole distance, Jesus Christ, thank you. I appreciate it. And I appreciate all you. Thank you for the super chats and the Streamlabs. And don't forget, you can pick up some merchandise for yourself as well. Link below. Excuse me. I really do appreciate. Sorry, I had a swallow stuck there. I apologize. Thank you so much for the donations. I really, really do appreciate it. Polly, is there anything you want us to show out today?
Well, Stargazer just put the link to my channel there, so I don't need to put it again. Thank you as always, Stargazer. Much appreciated. Yeah, you can stop by. We're Jack Inquisitor and myself do Comic Book Curation Live, a stream every Wednesday, slightly after 10 p.m. Eastern, where we talk about comic books and bants and all sorts of other good fun stuff. And we just did one. There's edited videos going up on a occasional semi-regular basis. So yeah, check it out.
Okay, Bear, is there anything you'd like to show?
Yeah, I just threw in the chat my latest video on Irate Bear. It's a video on knife crime from the BBC 3 channel. Guys, please go check that out. And I'm just going to throw in the latest Lord Bear video, which, of course, was Lord Bear wishing America Happy Traitors Day. So, guys, please go give that a watch.
All right. Eve, your turn. Anything you'd like to show?
Oh, there's my link to my YouTube channel where I play video games on Thursday, Friday, and Sunday nights and stream them. And my Twitter as well. And then also the Minions of the Zoo channel where I am a fill-in host over there. I fill in when others can't, or I just guest on there and talk with everybody. So,
all righty. And Jack, anything you want to show tonight?
No, not really. I suppose I should probably throw something in chat. So I'm going to throw P-Dog Knight's link in because he's probably going to stream at some point in the near future.
P-Dog does good stuff.
What's today? Today's Friday, right?
Sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All day. Yeah,
you'll be streaming at 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. Eastern time. Let's see. We'll be on Lords of the Night on Scribe Lights channel tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Then over to 2 Cents Plus, we will be back into 7 Days to Die. I forget. Oh, that's right. We're building the new house. Well, the defensive measures, and we're gonna be testing that to see if we're screwed or not. Come check that out. It should be a good time. And don't forget to subscribe to the game channel where I've been playing The Sims. It is very random, so follow me on Twitter because that's how you know when I upload or when I go live. And I go live a lot. So, guys, everybody, thank you so much for coming. Polly, Bear, Eve, Jack, thank you guys for joining me. Everybody, have a wonderful Friday. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Have a good day, everyone.
Bye.